I think it's a horror masterpiece. And I wrote in my Letterboxd review that every once in a while, a film that comes along and rocks your world, and this one is mine. I loved this movie so much that I saw it 4 times in the theater. It's tightly constructed mystery. It's revealed layer by layer. It has like an amazing story structure. I think Zach Cregger is a horror auteur now. He is just a master. I think he should be in the same breath as John Carpenter, which is a massive compliment, even though he only has 2 films under his belt.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, your fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
In the mart of film theory and film criticism, one has to question, what is the point of raking art when everyone is equal under the guise of creativity? What's the episode about today, Brian?
Oh, the episode. You went. That was a very good film type moment there. This week we are coming in hot with our part 2 of our year in review of 2025 by giving you all our best and worst films of 2025. And
gosh, I feel silly with that opening now.
Yeah, I know. But John, this is going to be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Because we kind of like alluded to last week that like, hey, we're going to have a special guest with us. And I honestly, like, I am so excited to introduce our guest because I just started listening to their podcast, Director's Take, and it's really, really good. So I am so happy to present to you all our guest, Becky D'Anna. She's one half of the Director's Take podcast, the official Sony Pictures podcast. Welcome to our crazy madhouse, Becky.
Oh, I'm so honored to be invited. This is like a bucket list thing for me because I've been writing top 10 lists for 20 years, and I've always wanted to be on a podcast and talk about my favorite films of the year, and I've never been able to do that. So I was so excited this morning. I'm like, I get to finally do it. And my better half, John Lopinger, couldn't make it. He had something come up, so I really wish he could be here. But I'm sure that hopefully we both can come back, or you can have him on separately. Because
you guys are welcome anytime. Yeah.
He's great. He brings out the best of me, and he always makes me laugh. The last episode of the Director's Take, there with the very last minute of it, I literally lost it. He said something that made me laugh so hard that I like lost it on the end of the episode. So he's great, and hopefully I can do our show justice without him.
I have a feeling you'll be fine. I have a feeling you'll be good. Like we had a very good fun pre-recording banter with Becky about movies. So like we're finally now recording. It's going to be fun. So we're going to do things a little bit different this time around. If you're used to our previous top 10 or whatever episodes, usually we kind of all go through a list. But Becky, you had a great idea, and I like this idea, and I'm going to give you total credit for it. Of us basically like going down the line of what's number 10, and then each of all 3 of us kind of saying what our number 10 is and then talking about it. So John, of course, you probably have like more than just like 10, right? Because you always come in with extra work.
I saw 120 movies in 2025. So it took a while to narrow it down. And one thing that I did was, just because it's like comparing in hockey, like forwards to goalies, even though they're all films, like they're a little different. I took off documentaries. I think I think they kind of almost deserve their own umbrella, but I left foreign films on because really, who cares what country a movie's made in? Good is good. So yeah, I took the documentaries off, which I think kind of helped succinct the list a little bit. But I do have some honorary mentions. Becky, I think you might as well. But
I have quite a few, but I don't need to talk about them if nobody wants to.
You can go through the honorary mentions.
I'm going to do mine. So
okay, John, you go ahead and give your honorary mentions. I don't have any honorary mentions, but I have man movies. So I call them like, they were okay, but they weren't like, they didn't reach my
there's plenty of those,
worst lists, but they were just like, So I have those, but I don't have any honorary mentions. So John, yes, please, let's go ahead and rock with your honorary mentions.
Yeah, I'll just blast through these real quick. So in the honorary mentions, The Long Walk, Frankenstein, Friendship, which is the best comedy of the year. See it if you haven't. Weapons, The Rule of Jenny Penn, Life of Chuck, and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. All just barely did make the list.
That's some fighting word lists in there, not making it your list. Like Come on, Weapons, Long Walk.
They were there for a long time.
There's so many movies, though. It's so hard. That's the thing is making to 10. It's like there's some movies in my honorable mention that's like people are like, I was sending out my list and people were like, what about this movie? I'm like, well, it's in my honorable mention, but they just like didn't even look because it wasn't in the top 10. But I'm like, no, I liked it. It just wasn't my personal top 10. So
it's like picking your top 10 movies of the year is like a Sophie's choice. It's like literally like which one am I willing to kill off from the list? You know, and there's criteria. I think it's one of those things like when people look at top 10 movies, people have to understand like those movies have to hit you and connect with you in a way that goes above and beyond just the fact that, oh yeah, it's good. You know what I mean?
My number.
Plus, you have to actually have seen it too. Like, I could go on to like Collider.com and see like their list of top 10 movies, but oftentimes like I some of those I haven't seen because I have kids and John does not, so he's able to have more time to go see movies where I do not.
Oh my god!
But Becky, do you have some honorable mentions for your?
I do. So I saw 181 movies last year, and I do have a kid, so you have no excuse, Brian. No,
I got 4 of them.
That's an excuse. I only have one. So here's a tip about having kids. No, I'm just kidding. If you just have one, it's nice because you can kind of maintain the life you had before with one. I feel like once you have more than one, that's not going to happen anymore, especially if you have 4. So, yes. So I can kind of, that's the thing. But it's just nice because I can kind of maintain, my movie watching with one. So I have a lot of honorable mentions because I get crazy. I think I have like 20, but anyway, this is what they are. Warfare, The Monkey, Hedda, Bugonia, Train Dreams, Pee-wee as himself, The Smashing Machine, Companion, Friendship, It Was Just an Accident, The Phoenician Scheme, Splitsville, If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Nouvelle Vague, One Battle After Another, A Pilgrim, which hasn't released yet. It was a film I saw at a festival, so it probably shouldn't. No one's seen it. Surratt, No Other Choice, The Testament of Anne Lee, Hamnet, and Blue Moon. And I think I'm going to put Avatar Fire and Ash on there now because I just saw it for a second time yesterday and I feel like I was wrong when I saw it earlier and I didn't want it on my list, but now I sort of feel like it should go on at least the honorable mention. So
how was Surratt, by the way? I did not have a chance to see that. I could not find it anywhere.
Yeah, I got lucky. Well, not really lucky, but like I'm film independent. You can pay for a membership to that and you get access to screeners, which is really a great, I would really recommend it. I do it every year. So you get access to the screeners. It's for the Spirit and Independent Awards. So if you pay for a membership, you get access to anything it's nominated. So Surratt was on that. So I was able to see a screener of it right before the end of the year. It's fantastic. It's very, very good. It sort of takes place, it's in a situation where like it's the end of the world and it's like the last, you kind of peripherally know it's the end of the world. And then it's this one, you follow just these few people who are like going into a rave and they're trying to get to somewhere. And essentially the premise is this guy is looking for his daughter. And so he follows a bunch of people who are going to a rave and a lot of stuff goes down in the desert. And it's really riveting stuff. It's very, very good. It's very good.
Awesome.
Yeah, the trailer is like explosive too. If you should watch a trailer, you're like, I need to see this right now. But it's very, very good. I think it comes out, I feel like it'll come in the theaters soon, or is it out in the theaters now? Or I don't know. I think it might be in a few theaters right now. I don't know. But it's worth seeing.
Probably in LA, Chicago, New York. That's Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Like, no, we're not going to come to Pittsburgh. Why would we do that?
Yeah, I think it did release I think it maybe had released in LA this week. But yeah, so I'm a big proponent. If you can, I think anybody can join the Film Independent, like get a membership if you want to access some of those movies. You can get access to screeners.
We get some screeners. We don't because we're considered press. Because we're a podcast.
Yes.
So we get some screeners. I think that was one that I don't think.
Don't speak of it that way, Brian. We are.
We are.
Fake it till you make it. Don't be like.
I'll take the win as well.
Yeah, I just heard. Didn't you get in? You're in that amazing.
I am. John is not.
Oh,
John will be.
Will at some point.
He
right?
will be. But yes, I'm a member of the Pittsburgh Film Critics Association. brand new member for 2025, and yeah, we just did our awards ceremony.
Yeah,
I love
just our awards. The picks were great from last week. They you guys ran through them, and also I listened to your last episode and happy 10th anniversary. That's extraordinary.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
April 1st. April 1st.
Why did we do that? Why do we? Yeah, we should have just.
Why do we pick April 1st?
We should have done like March 31st or April 2nd.
No, I think April 1st fits perfectly for us. I mean, I think it really does. Plus, there's a whole long story about how like we actually recorded our first episode
and a cat killed
6 months prior. Well, no, not just that. The cat killed it, and then our former co-host Lane had to go to the hospital, so we never got a chance to re-record.
Yeah,
and so it wasn't until April 1st when we finally released the episode. So yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, 382.
I think John mentioned had a Sarah Connor T2 reference in the episode. Was it you, John, that said Sarah Connor is ashamed of all of us? Were you
most
the one
likely.
that said that, or was it Brian?
Most likely. No, that was John.
My God.
That's totally John.
And I think Brian said this is how Skynet started, or maybe John said that too. I was like, as soon as you guys said that, I'm like, oh, these are my people, because that's all I ever think about when we talk about AI. I'm like, I'm sorry, Sarah Connor would be like, what's happening? What are we doing here? How do we not?
Why are you giving Skynet all of your data? And why are you making Tilly Norwood a thing?
Yeah, exactly. So, every time we have some sort of AI conversation about how great it is, I'm like, what's going on here? What are we doing here?
Yeah. All right. I don't have any honorable mentions, but I do want to get into our best of 2025.
Should I just mention number 11 real quick?
Just to go mention your number 11, John. Mr. Extra Homework.
I had to mention Bring Her Back.
Yes.
That was your number 11?
Again, as I mentioned before we started recording, I think it's the bolder man's weapons. It's, if you want your horror a lot more intense and unforgiving.
Jesus.
And
that
European, because let's just fuck up kids.
That was a movie that, and I don't know, Becky, if you felt the same way. I get the vibe that you were very much a horror fan too. But that was a movie where the kitchen scene.
Oh my God!
I was just like, I was watching it in a bedroom with my wife, and we were just like, oh shit! Like I literally jumped back and said, holy shit! When all that happened.
It is high in fiber.
It was one of my friends. I guest host on Wrong Reel a lot, and they just did a top 10. And one of my friends was on that, Martin Kessler. He's amazing, and that was one of his best films of the year in the top 10. I saw that movie opening night, and with a sold out audience. A coworker of mine's like a massive horror fan, so like every few months he's like, "We need to pick a horror film. What film are we seeing in the next 6 months?" So we decided to see that one, and I was writhing in my seat. I attributed it to psychological warfare. It was rough.
That's what I like.
It's a hard watch. Yeah, I mean, it's intense. It's the kitchen scene's nuts. It's just tactile horror. It's a lot, and it's not for everyone. And it's rare where I am writhing and I can handle a lot and I can watch a lot, and I usually don't cover my eyes, and I didn't cover my eyes here, but it was really intense for me. So it's hardcore.
It is. It's someone said, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to pull any punches."
No punches.
And they
did
not. And it was just like, didn't see that one coming at all.
Yeah,
and
it did have spooky kids in it though.
It's a testament to how you can take the ordinary and make it horror. And I love that horror does that when it's done really well. Like there was no sound buildup. There was no nothing. It was just like he turns away for a moment and turns back. And it's like, oh God, what is he doing? And like, it's just, I know for me, like I was just like, Jesus, I did not expect that one coming.
I did not expect that either. And it was one of the, like, it was like Clockwork Orange shit. Like, it's just like, this is intense. I can't imagine if you're, can't handle any horror. I just don't know. I feel like it'll be hard for a lot of people who are just
Yum, 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 yum.
Not into, yeah.
John, if you were to take that scene, I imagine you'd put in sound effects like yum, 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 yum.
Maybe it wouldn't be so intense if you did that.
A little laugh track right there.
It's a shocking film. Yeah.
Yeah, just then the soundbite of Mikey, he'll eat anything.
He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
He likes it. All right, Becky, do you have a number 11 at all on yours? Or are you ready to go right into 10?
No, I just have 10. I mean, I guess number 11 probably would have been Warfare, but that's in my honorable mention. So yeah,
gotcha.
I'm a big Alex Garland stan. So
I haven't seen that one though. That's the thing.
It's great.
It's great.
It's fantastic, and it's really intense, and it's really visceral, and it's I'm sure it's on. I feel like it's probably on HBO. I don't know, Max.
Probably.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's get to number 10. All right, Becky, you are our guest, so you can hit us off. What is your number 10 movie of 2025?
My number 10 is Life of Chuck by Mike Flanagan. Sort of a horror director, really, but this isn't a horror film. This is based on a Stephen King short story that was told in reverse. It's an extraordinary film. I thought it was soaring and just like introspective and just wonderful. The first sequence, I'm not going to get too much of it. The beginning of it, I think, is the best part. I think maybe the first 20 minutes is just really stunning. And you're kind of figuring out it's a big mystery. But essentially it's just about a man who, has an effect on everyone he meets. And it's really, it's just like a love letter to humanity, I think, and about the power of like how you can kindness and how you can affect people that you don't even know that you're affecting. It was really just a feel good movie, and I think Mike Flanagan, we may have him as a guest on our show this year. He picked a movie that I can't even say this. So anyway, he picked a movie that's very much in line with a feel-good, soaring, wonderful film. That's also my favorite Sony film ever made. So you guys can figure out what that is, but I can't say about it right now. But one of the things I wrote in my little Letterboxd review, which I also put in my review, I put all my top 10 best films of the year list on my website, but I said that humanity needed a publicist in 2025, and this movie is it in the best possible way.
Yeah,
that's the best way I could describe it. So, it's not for everybody, I guess. I don't know. It's, I let it washed over me. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was extraordinary stuff. So I really loved it.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen King alone has had a banner of a year with Life of Chuck and The Long Walk and
The Monkey.
The Monkey and even like It Welcome to Derry. We did a whole episode on like how 2025 has really kind of been Stephen King's year. But John, I think you said you saw Life of Chuck, right?
Yeah, that was Becky, as you know, that was on my honorable mention. It was in my top 10 for almost the entire year. But of course, the way the Hollywood system works now is that, you have action movies in the summer and then they wait till the end of the year for, the bougie art films. And yes. I got inundated by all the bougie art films at the end of the year. And it just kind of fell out of my list. But man, I loved that movie so much.
Oh, great. Yeah, it almost fell off my list. My mate clung to it to number 10, so I'm very happy.
I almost did too.
Yeah. Because that's the thing it's a hard thing. Like I said, I saw 180 movies this year, so it's very hard to get to 10. So yeah.
Cool. John, what's your top 10?
Well, speaking of
your number 10.
Yeah. Speaking of other people's honorable mentions, Becky, you had this in yours, and we talk about films that resonate with us that may not be on everyone's list. I had Blue Moon, which this is my kind of movie. Like, and I hate to say it because it seems almost like this could be a play. And, there's a difference between plays and cinema, but just the back and forth of, the opening of Oklahoma and, before Rodgers and Hammerstein, there was Rodgers and Hart, the song composers together, and how Hart is this self-destructive man who is right, but goes about it all the wrong ways because he's like a perfectionist with the art. And he sees that Rodgers is working with Hammerstein making crap, and just the whole night is the congratulatory thing at the bar everybody goes to who does theater, and just watching Hart just disintegrate in front of your eyes. And it's just like such great character work, such great dialogue, and it just keeps it so intense and so thoughtful for something that takes place in a bar, and it's 95% conversation, but it keeps you enraptured. So that's my number 10.
I have not seen it.
It's very good. I liked it a lot. That was I think that was one of the last films I saw, maybe on like December 30th of this year before I did my top 10. I thought it was fantastic. And I love how he's, they even made him like, because Ethan Hawke's tall, they made, I guess the character is playing short. So I'm not sure. I didn't really go into like how they made him look short. I don't know if it was the camera or they made people wear taller shoes. I don't really know how they did it, maybe, but they showed him he looked significantly shorter than a lot of the other people, like the real character.
Do you think he'll get the Oscar?
What was that?
Do you think he'll get the Oscar, Becky?
I think he'll be in the running, hopefully, but I don't know if he'll win. But
for Best Actor
or Best Supporting?
I mean, if it's Best Actor, I have a feeling it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be Chalamet. I think he's got. I think Marty Supreme is going to get him in the end. That's my gut. Granted, like I am very much, and Becky, if you listen to any of our past episodes, I am not a fan of the Oscars by any stretch.
Okay. Yeah.
But like I don't know. I just have a feeling like Marty Supreme's going to.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, I think Timothée Chalamet. I'm hoping that Leo wins in the end. I just, but I think Ethan Hawke's going to be. I feel like he's going to be probably a lock for Best Actor nomination at least.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad if he won. Though.
Leo didn't get molested by any animals in that movie, so I don't know if he's. I mean, I didn't see you get attacked sexually by any animals. Nice try, Leo.
The thing I walked out of when I saw One Battle was that I think that Leonardo DiCaprio is a national treasure. So, and I'm still mad that he didn't get a nomination for Django Unchained. So I just want him to get all the nominations, and I just think he's wonderful. So,
the award, like the Oscars, is such weird nonsense. They probably went, well, we nominated one guy for supporting actor for this film. We can't nominate two, even though it's happened before, you know. But,
I just find it hilarious that as Leonardo DiCaprio gets older, he starts to look more and more like Jack Nicholson.
Kind of.
Like if you just look at his face, and he's looking more like him.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 10, I had Bugonia as my number 10. And I honestly, I pretty much stayed away from a lot of trailers and the press things for Bugonia. A couple other friends who are movie people on TikTok did some little mini reviews of it. So I'm like, okay, I got to check this thing out. So like over, Christmas break, I watched it and I was surprised how good it was, because I was thinking it was going to be like another Poor Things, which I didn't hate. But I liked how this director goes weird in a way and I felt that this one was way more grounded than Poor Things was. So and it also like just kind of spoke to a lot of societal things when it comes to conspiracy theories and the whole class issue that we seem to see, but it did it in a way that was really off the wall and terrifying at parts. Emma Stone did amazing in it. The fact they're like, we got to douse your body in this like lotion and you got to stay down here. Like
she needed to be any more pale.
The whole time it's like you're thinking, okay, yeah, these two people are crazy. These two people are, conspiracy theorists, nut jobs. But then it's proven that they were 100% right.
But isn't that a problem though?
Spoilers.
Isn't that a problem?
Do you feel that's a problem?
That's the problem I have with the movie, is that like there is a psychological commentary that you can make in today's day and age where, and I'm not trying to get too heavy here on politics stuff, but with money, people having, what's the people starving now? What's the correct term? Food insecurity, and the top between the bottom in terms of money and the minimum wage not rising, and I feel like nobody can own a home. Is that people need to believe in some people need to believe in something like Q, because they need some kind of fucking answer. And they go to these absolute nonsense by grifters and charlatans. And for them to be right, I feel like this was a commentary on what it is when you're desperate and you need to believe in anything, but they're right. And that's a problem for me.
I don't know. I felt that it fit with the style of that director, knowing his other work being kind of off the wall. I was expecting the off the wall to occur. So when it does, I'm like, yes, that fits what this director is. It's almost like, we discussed during our review of The Running Man, how I truly believe that some people were expecting an Edgar Wright film and they didn't get that. And that's why that movie didn't do as well as people thought. They were expecting Baby Driver. They were expecting Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and they didn't get that. And that's why they were pissed off. I think with Bugonia, it very much is that filmmaker style of film. I'm saying that film because if I try to pronounce his name, I'm going to butcher it.
Yorgos.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yeah. So like, I can see his style of film being in there, and especially with that ending. Do I think it undercuts a little bit of the paranoia that you see built? Yeah, I do think it does. So to speak to your point, I do. But I think just all around, it was a movie that kept me glued from start to finish. And how many movies can do that nowadays?
It's funny you said the movie was grounded. It did have some Fellini references in there.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But yeah, that was my number 10, was Bugonia.
All right, Bex, hit us with number 9.
Yeah. Well, first of all, sorry. I actually want to, can I say something about
Bugonia?
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No. I just, I'm actually trying to look to see what I even said on my Letterboxd review, but yeah. I loved Bugonia. I thought it was fantastic. It was in my honorable mention. I love Yorgos Lanthimos. I think, my favorite film of his is Killing a Sacred Deer. Have you guys seen that one?
Mm-hmm. That
one's
his
really,
first?
No, his first was, is it
Lobster?
Dogtooth? No, not Dogtooth. He had a one or two films before that, I think. But I like Dogtooth's real, like, unusual too. Killing a Sacred Deer is like my favorite of his, but I didn't love The Favorite. I really like Poor Things though. But yeah, I thought Bugonia was amazing, and I feel like I could have watched a whole separate movie with just Emma Stone as the CEO of this this company. I loved her character in that. You only got a little bit of it, but I could have watched a whole movie of her just being like this like amazing, like gnarly CEO. I thought she was completely magnetic and in the movie, and I absolutely loved it. And I also think that's one of the best trailers of the year. I loved that trailer. I could have watched it on repeat. I think the trailer is fantastic. And also for my top 10 list, I already messed up. Life of Chuck was number 9. Number 10 was actually Superman. So I don't know. I think I because I'm like, I'm like, print out my list so I have it in case I need to reference it. And I guess I didn't. I don't know what happened, but yes. So sorry, Life of Chuck.
That's
you're
okay.
actually further higher up the list than I said. You're number 9. You didn't barely make it. You made it. Superman was number 10. So I'll go backwards. So sorry, I already messed up.
You're good.
Derailed your whole podcast.
No, you're good. You're good.
I absolutely love Superman. I just thought it was like just a love letter to like the power of empathy and compassion and hope. And I loved how it showed that Superman might not be from our planet, just like a lot of people might not be from our country or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he is the best of us. And I just really thought it had amazing action and just wonderful acting and just a great storyline and a great villain. And it was really smart and of the moment. And I just loved it. And I love this, that we got back to Superman being this like really kind, wonderful person who really cares about humanity, even though he is not human. So I loved it quite a lot.
That's good. Yeah, I know. I liked the fact that they made Superman more grounded. Mm-hmm. I felt like, it's always the thing where people like, you look at Batman and he clearly is grounded in human behavior and everything like that. But Superman always has kind of felt like separate from that. I think that what they did, what James Gunn did, was really bring him down without some of the issues that maybe the Snyderverse had with their Superman. He felt like he was human even though he clearly wasn't. You know, it's that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Snyder ones leaned into the fact that he was an alien, where I don't think that's the way you should go. I think that Superman is oddly the best of us when he's not even human. But that is like, see, I'm a huge bougie like douchebag, so I have like a separate list of like my top 10 popcorn movies of the year, like the most entertaining one. So Superman would be on that list, but I'm too much of a
No, I love it. I have eclectic taste in film, so I my list is usually, it's just my top 10 favorite films. So it could be, an obscure Eastern European film, and it could be Superman. So I don't know. But I don't usually separate them out. But I think that's great.
I find, I mean, honestly, there was one year I think the first Into the Spider-Verse was my number 3 movie of the year. But I try to find personally like a balance between, okay, what are some of the greatest art achievements, but also my favorites without being too up my own point, but
well, that's a great film. That's a Sony film, Into the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So thanks for loving that movie.
So John, what is your number 9?
Number 9, I have a movie a lot of people didn't hear about, which is a shame, but I hope people check it out. It's a foreign film called The Secret Agent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's it about?
So it takes place in Chile in the 1970s, during a time of horrific upheaval. The first scene of the movie is somebody going for gas, and there is a corpse at the gas station covered by a piece of cardboard, and you can see that he's rotting, and there are flies, and the guy comes out and he's like, "Hey, you need some gas? Like, you're the customer." And he goes, "What's going on there?" And they said, "Oh, well, he was trying to steal and he was murdered, and the police state, basically said they'll come and get him eventually, but not to move him." And he's getting gas, and like there are wild dogs trying to eat him, and he had to keep shooing that. You get an idea that this is a horrific time, and you have a man in the movie who, it's called a secret agent, but he's not. He's just trying desperately to figure out everything that happened to his family and to be a part of the revolution. And I think I would have even enjoyed it more if I wasn't fairly ignorant to the subject matter. I did look up a lot of stuff after I saw it, but it is a great exploration of the human condition surrounded by actual history. It's one of the reasons I love Oliver Stone so much. He had nothing to do with this, but it's just like, okay, it's a great exploration of the human condition under the worst circumstances, but actually based on an actual point in our historical timeline. So
cool. Yeah, cool. My number 9 was Frankenstein.
Nice.
And this was one that I was looking forward to all year. I was lucky enough to see this in theaters, and honestly, like, I am shocked at the fact that this was not given a full theatrical release. I know
Netflix
that
hates theaters.
They hate theaters. But I'm just saying, like, this did, like, seeing this in the theater was a very different experience for me than actually going and seeing it on, my TV. It's just, go, if you could see a movie in a theater, go do that. Like, I mean, I'm a big proponent of that anyway. But I love Guillermo del Toro. I was curious to see his take on it because clearly, like, the man loves Frankenstein. This is like him doing his favorite. This is like Robert Eggers when he did Nosferatu. We knew he was a fanboy of that version. So it's like, what version do you get? And I love all the changes. I know some people were like, it's not exactly like the book. I'm like, that's okay for me. And I like what Jacob Elordi did with the monster. I like Oscar Isaac's weird Machiavellian style because it harkens back to the Hammer film version of Frankenstein, the Peter Cushing version, which is one of my favorite versions of Dr. Frankenstein. Because Frankenstein's an asshole. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to root for him. That's one of the reasons why I didn't really like the Kenneth Branagh version as much, because I'm like, you made him not an asshole. Like, that's who he is. No, I love that film, seen in theaters, and it's my number 9 pick.
So I'm going to comment on both of your number 9s.
Yep.
So Secret Agent, I thought was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I thought the last 30 minutes was the best part of it. was just explosive and amazing. So, but it was very good. It just, I felt it's probably about the criticism, but I thought it was a little long. I don't think it needed to be that long. Not like I don't like long movies, but I felt like it was a little longer than I think it should have been, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. That's why I didn't make my top 10, but it was very good. And Wagner Moura, who was the actor in it, the main character, they follow I think his name was Armando. He was amazing. And he actually plays his son as an adult near the end of the movie.
Yes.
So that's great too. Cause I remember, it's funny. I don't think I knew until I got out and I'm like, it looks just so much like him. His son grew up to look like him.
That tricked me. My fiance, she saw through it right away, but I'm like,
what? I didn't. Yeah. I was like, wow, he looks, I don't know. So it was cool. And also because it's supposed to be a different decade. It's like later. So it was great. I really, Frankenstein, I didn't connect with it the way I had hoped. I thought it was gorgeous though. The cinematography was great. I had some problems with some of the story. I know it was based more on the book. It's funny. I kind of disagree with you on didn't Frankenstein, I feel like they made him more compassionate and less of a monster, which is great.
I mean, I'm talking about Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, Doctor. Yeah. Oh, you're right. That makes sense. He is a dick.
No, I love that Jacob Elordi made him very compassionate and very much
okay. Then then I don't whatever. Yeah, it was good. I didn't love it though. And I went in wanting to love it. And I saw that in the theater too. And so, I tried movies, obviously working on a movie studio, I always try to see movies in the theaters. And most of the films I saw on my list this year were in theaters, unless it was the last few, even Secret Agent. I saw that the last few, one of the films I ran out and saw a few days before end of the year. So I always try to see most of these films I have seen in the big screen. So I'm a big proponent of that as well. And so is the head of our studio, Tom Rothman. He's the head of Sony Pictures. He's a big proponent of seeing films on the big screen, just like we are. But yeah,
you gotta be. Mm-hmm. That's okay. I mean, I get it can be divisive, and I think coming out of it, a lot of people were kind of in mixed bags when it came to it. I just know for me, I thought the only thing I thought was a little weird was Frankenstein, the doctor, his whole weirdo obsession with his mom and milk and Mia Goth, his brother's fiance, which we did a whole review on it, and we totally said Guillermo, why are you leaning into that?
Dr. Freud just got a stiffy in his casket. Sometimes a boner's just a boner.
Oh God!
You know what? I feel like I don't want to spoil it, but one issue I had was when Frankenstein, they tell the story of Frankenstein in the boat, and then they're like, "Hey, it's cool. We're good with him now." And then he just killed a bunch of those ship crewmate, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And I'm like, "Wait, what? We're cool?" But you didn't hear the story, but you're cool with not killing him now? I would be still pissed. He killed all my friends. But that was there was just small little things like that. But that was just a little thing. The thing is, I was talking to my friend last night about this. Is when you and I didn't hate this movie. I liked it quite a lot. I just didn't love it. When I do hate movies though, or when I really love them, it's both ways, is when you really, really love a film, sometimes there's little things that don't make sense or don't work, but you just bypass them because it doesn't matter. You loved it so much and there's so many other things. But then when you don't like a movie, every little thing bugs you and you're all the little things are the worst. And so, but yeah, you overlook those things when you really, so it's all subjective and
Nobody heard Charles Foster Kane say Rosebud. But nobody cares because it's Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. All right. We're going to move on to number 8. So, Becky, what is your...
I was going to say, where are we at? I can't...
We're at number 8.
Okay, 8. Yeah. And this will be my real number 8 because I totally messed up my number 9 and 10. So now I have it and it's okay. So number 8 is a surprising one. Maybe it won't be surprising, but is K-pop Demon Hunters. So this was a surprise. This was a surprise for me because... This movie came out, it's actually Sony Pictures animation film that was released on Netflix, but I actually didn't see it, I don't think, until a week or two that it was out. It came out and there was sort of buzz about it, but I was like, this isn't really for me. I'll check it out at some point. And my friend Paul, who is a really good friend of mine, I call him an influencer for me. He's like our personal influencer because he was all over me to see Avatar: The Last Airbender last year. He's like, you got to see it. You got to see it. Are you going to see it? Are you going to see it? And I finally saw it and I became obsessed with it. And then I went into Legend of Korra and stuff. So like he's introduced me to a lot of things that I end up becoming like that I'm in love with. And this was a film where he kind of borderline, he told me low key try to make me see. And he kept texting me, did you see it yet? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to see it. I'll see it with my kid. Right. And I love animated movies. So it's not like and mostly when I see animated movies in the theater, I usually don't go with my kid because my kid's really picky and I don't want to have to convince her to see stuff. I'll just go see stuff on my own. This is the movie I said, hey, I think you'd like this. Let's see it together. So we did. I loved it. And I think I loved it. I ended up revisiting it a few months ago and loved it even more. And that's when I realized it should be on my top 10. And then I actually revisited it last night.
Wow.
So I've seen it 3 times now. It is amazing. It's so funny because I feel like on my top 10 list on my website, I have all the trailers. There's links to all the trailers. This is one where I actually don't think the trailer, but we didn't make it. Netflix did. I don't think the trailer sells the movie as well, but maybe it sells it for who the audience is initially. It just seems like it's just a fun candy colored pop movie, whatever, but it's so much more than that. Did you guys see this movie?
I did. My daughter's 7, so she did watch it.
So, it is so much more than that. First of all, it is, it just seems like it's kind of a silly movie when you see the trailer. And I was bummed because sometimes when I see there's different versions of trailers, I try to put one on that I think is more impactful. Like I'll mention it later. There's a trailer I picked specifically for one of my films on the list that I haven't mentioned yet. But anyway, this movie is really about unlocking the best version of you and about, I think this is so relatable for everybody that most of us have these thoughts in our heads that tell us that we're not good enough or like we don't deserve love or like maybe we're not going to, be, I don't know, like it's about quieting those voices inside of your head and actually being the best version of you and also realizing that you deserve happiness. And like maybe there's even a storyline where one of the main characters meets someone and she like that's kind of, broken too, and like they both realize they kind of bring out the best in each other and like finding that soulmate that brings out the best in you and makes you feel safe and warm and kind and like all these things and like it's just like magic, the movie. And there is a climactic battle scene at the end that is just electric and it is set to a song called This Is What It Looks Like, and that song is it's just builds and builds and builds and it is amazing. And there's this whole scene where there's these demon hunters. Sorry, I'm gonna get into what it's about. It's about these 3 girls who every decade, every generation, there are 3 women who are chosen to fight demons in this movie, and these 3 girls and they're usually through song. So there's these 3 girls who are singers, and they usually fight the demons. They like sing, but they also are like demon hunters, and they're amazing. Anyway, there's a climactic battle scene where there are, the whole world, the demon world, sort of taking over, and you kind of start hearing everyone in the crowd, everyone in the world starting to hear, because all of us have it, that voice. And what's that voice saying to you? Maybe that voice is saying you don't deserve love, or you're not good enough for this, or this, that. So you get to hear those little voices and they start believing in them. And it's just kind of heartbreaking. And then it's like, then she just like, they fight the demons. And so I just think it's about so much more than just this like music infused film. It's about finding the best version of yourself and fighting those voices. And it's really powerful. And I love that it exists. So I think it's a magnificent story of acceptance. And I really, really love it. And I got chills watching it again last night. And I think it's a movie that I think it's relatable to anyone, no matter if you're like, I don't know, like film bro or whoever you are, like there is something in this movie, and I'm glad that I went and saw it. And then I think it's even more rewarding on second view. And the music is so catchy and the pop songs are great. I listen to the soundtrack all the time. There's at least 6 songs in the film that are extraordinary. The whole soundtrack's great. Golden, I think, is a lock for best song of the year.
Oh, yeah.
It's extraordinary. But there are all these other songs, like the song Free is amazing. It's not my favorite song on the album, but This Is What It Looks Like in that battle scene is extraordinary. I could talk about this movie for an hour. It is so good. And I never thought, like, it's so funny how I kind of dismissed it when I heard about it. And I'm so happy I sought it out. And I try to get more people to see it. And I hope this podcast gets more people to see it, because we all have that voice, those voices, and we need to figure out how to quiet them. And I think this is a really wonderful film for anybody, no matter how young or old you are.
Yeah. No, I love the animation style. And that was, I think, the same animation style that was used in Into the Spider-Verse and all of that. So like, I love that style that Sony does do, you know, because it's different than everyone else. It's very tactile. I know that's what I noticed about it. Great pick. Great solid pick there for number 8. John, what is your number 8 film?
I'm just also checking here real quick. I know that Secret Agent takes place in Brazil. I'm just ignorant to geography, so I hope I didn't misspeak there. But
it's a Brazilian film, but isn't it? Yeah. Does it take place in Argentina? Is that
Argentina, not Chile? Argentina. Yeah. So the whole time I'm just thinking here, I'm like, I think I picked the wrong country because I'm an idiot and I don't know where things are on a map. But
oh no, it says, sorry, and it's in Wikipedia. It says did it during the political turmoil of the Brazilian military dictatorship. So see, I just said Argentina, and I knew it's a Brazilian film, but I'm like, oh, maybe it took place in another country. So I think it is Brazil. Yeah.
We're all terrible with
audience.
Yeah, sorry. I'm actually in international marketing, so I'm gonna get flogging for that. So yeah.
So dear audience, especially those that live in that area, please forgive my ignorance if I picked a country that's probably 100,000 miles away. But number 8, and I don't want to sound like I think I'm one of the good ones when I say this, but I think we need a lot more movies made by female directors. And I had my honorary mention, If I Had Legs, I Could Kick You, but my number 8 is Sorry Baby. And it's so refreshing to see a movie about this triggering type topic that is actually written and directed by a woman and not from a man's perspective. Especially since not every moment is the most over the top serious thing you've ever seen, because women can have their own perspective on things that men would go, well, clearly, you know, it has to be the worst thing that ever happened, then they're never going to be okay again. It's like, because it's a man who doesn't know what it is to experience this. Obviously, the trigger thing being a sexual assault of a student by a professor, and just kind of this. Again, I've said this with most of my films, a great character study of what it is to go on with life after something like that has happened, especially since it's people that she knows from her college life, and it is such a small world, and you could tell that things aren't going to be made right by higher ups, but they're going to just kind of like give her things to silence her, and it's just a beautifully tragic movie. And again, thank God that it was done from a woman's point of view, because there's no other way to tell this story.
Definitely.
I loved this movie. This is actually my number 4 favorite film of the year. So I had it higher on my list, but I think Eva Victor is a revelation, and I think this is a very special movie. And I like how this movie was told out of order, sort of, in a way. It's non-linear storytelling, which is really impactful, and you don't actually see the transgression happen. Like, you don't see the abuse happen. So and I always think that things that happen off screen sometimes are more powerful, but there's so much great, amazing dialogue in this film, and like questions that the main character talks to her friends and people, and tries to figure out what's next. And there's a scene in particular where she is moving into a new office, and she's a college professor, and she kind of looks around in her new office. And if I just say that, it doesn't sound impactful, but I was like weeping during that scene. You just see her looking around, and you realize that like she's figuring out what's next, and it has all this like there's all this underneath story behind it, and it was really powerful stuff. It's a really special movie, and I love that you loved it. It's funny because the last episode, I know you misspoke originally when you're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, baby, it's a movie about terrible people doing terrible things." And I'm like, "What?" And then you're like, "Oh wait, that was a totally different movie."
It's like god awful Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, it was
movie.
Die My Love. But I was like, wait, he thinks the characters in the movie are terrible people. What? But then you obviously were thinking of a different movie, so I thought that was really funny. But what a great pick, John. I love that movie too. I think more people need to see it. It's really, really, really moving.
My number 8 pick was Hard Eyes.
Oh, I loved Hard Eyes.
Oh, here's the thing. I slept on this movie up until the point when we were going to interview Josh Rubin, and I was like, "Oh, I want to watch his movie if I'm going to be able to talk to him." And so, before we went to Erie Horror Fest, I watched this film, and I really fell in love with the world building that he does with it. The fact there's horror and humor mixed together in a way that works. I really did enjoy this film more so than I thought I was going into it. Because sometimes, you're going to interview someone and you're like, okay, maybe the movie's not that great. But honestly, it's scary. It is scary. And don't get me wrong. I loved Josh Rubin's film Scare Me. If you listen to our old episode we did with him, I was gushing over that film. But Hard Eyes was a surprising, bright spot for me. And it came out right around Valentine's Day.
It did.
So I'm like,
yes.
It's this one and My Bloody Valentine, I think, are going to be the horror movies you watch now during Valentine's Day.
I love it. I feel like I need to, and I'm probably going to do it when we leave here. I'm going to put that movie in my honorable mention because I don't know how it didn't make it, because I loved Hard Eyes. It's actually a Sony movie, but I didn't know. I saw that movie on my birthday. It was a movie that I just was like, it's a horror film. I'm going to check it out. I actually didn't think it looked, I'm like, it looks fine. I loved it. It's so insanely fun, wildly romantic, so romantic, and really gory, just so much gore and so hilarious. And again, really romantic. So it gives you everything you need. And it was a really huge surprise for me. And it was a nice movie to see on my birthday. Because my birthday's in February. I don't know how I missed putting that in my honorable mention because I loved it. And I rated it 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So
Becky,
what a great
birthday?
pick. February 9th.
Oh, my fiance's February 10th. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, we're good people. Aquariuses. Yeah. We try to change the world. We try to, but we for the better, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move into number 7. So Becky, what was your number 7 pick?
My number 7 pick is 28 Years Later, which is a Sony film. But again, I work at Sony Pictures, but I don't pick movies on my top 10 list based on Sony. I pick the best movies. Right. I absolutely love 28 Years Later. I'm a big Alex Garland stan. I think I might have mentioned that earlier. I think he is one of our best living filmmakers. Also one of our best writers. I think he's a master storyteller of the human condition. I always feel like he captures humanity in a way, really, in all of his movies, unlike anyone else right now. And I've likened him to Ingmar Bergman, who's my favorite film director of all time, quite a lot. It's kind of a weird, I guess, praise. Maybe. Yeah, it is big praise. I just think because Ingmar Bergman really, I think, really captures humanity in a way that unlike anyone else too. And I really think that they have similar DNA. And I guess most people wouldn't put them together, but I would. I think that's why I really gravitate towards him. But I absolutely love this world. It was really moving. It's, takes place 28 years later from the first when the they're infected, they're not zombies, have taken over, and people are trying to figure out, navigate their way around the fact of living with these people. They're on a different island. This is really a story about a young boy trying to become a coming of age. He goes with his father to try to learn how to fight them. And then he also wants to find a cure for his mom, who's very sick and doesn't know what ails her. It's really thought-provoking and heart-stopping and savage. It's a savage film. And it's, I wrote in my review that it's spellbinding. I loved it. It is fantastic. And we will talk later, but the sequel to that movie comes out in a few weeks. And I think it is even better than 28 Years Later. I think it's one of the best films of the decade, 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, but we will talk about that later.
It was very good. But I have to ask Becky, that was a stunt dick, right? That wasn't. If it wasn't good for him, I know he's a big fella, but God damn.
No, it has to be. I didn't look into it. I thought it was kind of like, that's not not debatable, right? It has to be.
It's cold on set. There's no way. It
wasn't Fassbender, John.
It has to be. It has to be. I feel like it's like a given, but it'd be crazy if it wasn't. But yeah, I don't know. I
just want to see somebody ducking under him to escape. The dick just hits the face.
Oh my God, I totally blocked that out. I totally forgot about that. That's hilarious. So funny.
Yeah, I also love 28 Years Later. I've never been a gigantic fan of that series just because like I am a zombie purist. But I liked what they did with that movie, and to come back literally 28 years after the last one, or it was 20
Not
years
quite.
after.
It was
pretty
2002 or 3.
2002 when the first one.
Yeah, so basically a good
later.
23 years after the last one, and reintroduce this world to us of what happened after we last saw them. And I was really pleasantly surprised by the way it went. I love the fact it ended on a cliffhanger, just because most movies don't do that anymore.
No,
they really don't.
And the next film pays it off in spades.
Yeah, no, but great pick there. Looking forward to seeing Bone Temple.
Yay.
John, what is your number 7 or 7? Yeah, 7 pick.
Good. Yeah, I was like, what am I? Okay. Hamnet. The movie that about loosely what inspired Shakespeare to write arguably, because everybody has their own opinion, arguably his greatest play of all time, Hamlet, based on the tragedy that befell his early family when he was still trying to become the Bill Shakesman that we all know and love today. Just was like he was like Tolkien. He was just like an English teacher, like a tutor pretty much, and paying off his father's debts. And, it's kind of like, hey, kid, get out of writing, get a real job, you hippie, but ends up writing this and takes off, and it's turning tragedy into art because somebody like Shakespeare, that's how they know how to wrap their head around what has happened to them. And when they've lost everything, especially since I don't think there was like ye old psychologists back in the day. So, you were on your
old psychologist.
You were kind of on your own anyways, so
ye old therapist.
Yeah. So yeah. And it's a very like beautiful case study of how somebody can take tragedy in their life and create arguably one of the greatest written pieces of all time.
Yeah, good pick. My number 7 pick was Marty Supreme. This was a last minute addition because like I got a screener of this one and saw it and I was like, oh, it's the ping pong movie. How good can it be? And I was blown away by it. Even though I think it's a thing where you're not really supposed to like Marty Mauser. I think that's important to point out.
I think you're supposed to find him more fascinating than you are to like him. Yeah.
No, I'm like, yeah, but like that is the thing that I've seen in conversations about this film after the fact is people saying, oh, great, now a bunch of people are going to start to be like, oh, yes, I want to be like Marty Mauser, piece of shit who like, does anything to win.
He's the new Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, he's the new Jordan Belfort. And I'm like, yes, but it is possible in a movie to have a protagonist you don't like. And that's a testament to the writing and testament to the performance of the actor. For me to still be rooting for them over a ping pong match, even when I'm going like, yeah, no, I hate this person. Like this person I do not like. And I think that was something for me that was unique. And I think there's a lot of layers to this character. I think there's a lot of layers to this movie, and I just thought it was really well done. And I am convinced that Chalamet probably will get the Best Actor award this year. I just have a feeling. I don't know. He knocked it out of the park with Dune, and now he's going into roles like this. I have a feeling he's on the rise there.
He's got a good publicist, man, because he's like Dune and Wonka, and like I don't think Wonka did great, but still,
Wonka didn't go good.
But if you're given the opportunity to play Willy Wonka, you think like, oh yeah, slam dunk, Yeah. But then does these art films too, so he has a good picker.
What was your film again, John? The last one
Hamnet.
You talked about? Oh yeah.
Hamnet.
I just want to say what I really like Hamlet. I thought the ending was I just thought Zoe Zhao like crushed the ending of this movie. The director, Jessie Buckley, is like the ending is just, she's astonishing. I think she deserves the Best Actress just because of her performance is amazing, but the end of that movie is like breathtaking. She's breathtaking in it. It's one of the most amazing endings I've ever seen, an acting I've ever seen. So I really dug the ending of that movie. And then I like Marty Supreme. I didn't connect with it the way I wanted it to. I think it might be a Timothée Chalamet thing. Sometimes I don't know what it is. He's a very good actor, and I really liked him in Bones and all. This is not. I don't know if I can't take someone seriously that is dating a Kardashian, a Jenner, and I shouldn't say that out loud, but it's like it's hard for me to like. I don't know. So he's a good actor though. I think it's because of him. I'm not like a huge fan of his, but like anyway, it's a good movie, and I'm happy people are connecting with it. I just didn't connect with it.
It's a funny. Sorry. I was gonna say like your issues with him are not isolated because like my wife, I was trying to get her to watch this, and she's like, oh, that's a Gwyneth Paltrow movie. I don't watch Gwyneth Paltrow movie. She doesn't like Gwyneth Paltrow.
That's interesting because I thought it's funny because I mean, she's not somebody who I'm like obsessed with or anything, but I actually thought the Gwyneth Paltrow parts of this movie were the parts that I liked the most of the movie. The whole the storyline between him and Gwyneth Paltrow, I think, were the parts that I really enjoyed of the movie and thought were really good. So I think she's actually the best part of the movie. But that's actually separating her from who she is, I guess. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's funny how like sometimes just because of a certain person, you're just like, I don't know if I want to see it.
I can't watch Ezra Miller movies anymore because it's
that's because of things he's done. Yeah.
Or they. But it's all comes to a thing where like you see them on a screen, you're like, do I really want to watch this person I really don't care for like 2 hours? And
then sometimes the talent takes over. Like I think talk about Kevin, he's so good in that. I just think he's a good actor. So it's so subjective. Sometimes you can like look past stuff and sometimes you can't. But
well he's like,
I don't know.
Old Tim Chalamet, he's just a little guy. I just want to pick him up and tickle him. Like you're just a little guy.
He's going to be listening to be like, why does this grown man want to pick me up and tickle me?
I'm like, oh, I hope you don't have osteoporosis, little fella.
Oh, geez. All right, let's move on to number 6. Becky, what's your number 6?
Oh, number 6 is I did put a documentary on my list. Sometimes I make docs make my list, and sometimes they don't. It's Secret Mall Apartment.
Yeah, that was good.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So the director is actually a friend of mine, but that's not why he made my list. Just like a full disclosure. But I just think Jeremy Workman's one of the best documentarians out there. He's amazing. He has made his last 2 films were extraordinary too. He's made a lot of documentaries, but World Before Your Feet he made in 2018 about a guy he followed this guy who wanted to walk every single street in New York and what that was like. And it was an astonishing film. In I think a few years ago, it was like 2022, he did Lily Topples the World about a domino artist creating, and that was fascinating and wonderful. You guys should check that one out. It's also really all of his films are sort of life affirming. This is another one. It's essentially about a group of artists who found a way to live in a mall for quite a while. They built an apartment in like a certain area of a mall and figured out how to do it and started bringing in furniture, and they lived there for a while. They're also artists. They make art. But and it's like a straight up sort of like caper film too, like seeing them how they able to figure out a way to get in and live there and bypass the security, and it's really like riveting stuff. But it's also like, I don't know, like a movie about the beauty of art and the power of empathy and like what it meant for these artists to like create this thing when, there was people were it was just so hard to find apartments you can live in and pay for, and at the time, and how they were able to find this little place for themselves in this community, and then also how they give back with their art. It's all the real life people, the artists that did this. He interviewed them. They have footage from when they actually lived there. They all filmed these little cameras, and it's fascinating. But also, he interviews them now, and there's a scene where they also show that they all kept their keys from their apartment from back then, and it's really
built their own door.
Yeah. They built their own door. They brought in like bricks. It's a fascinating film. It's one of the best. It is. I mean, it's made number 6 of hundreds of films. I'm really proud to know Jeremy. I think he's so talented. So yes, he is a friend of mine, but he would have been on my list regardless if I knew him or not. It's just brilliant, and I really think people should seek it out. I think it's on Blu-ray now. You can stream it, I believe. So I would definitely check it out.
Awesome. John, what's your number 6?
Brian, we were almost able to shake hands, but because my number 6 is Marty Supreme.
Okay,
we were one off. From each other.
Off.
And yeah, Brian, I was like you. I saw the trailers for this, and I'm like, the last thing I want to see in this fucking world is a ping pong movie. I heard all this buzz, and I'm like, do people care this much about ping pong? I really don't get it. I like to call tennis ping pong standing on the table. Stole that from George Carlin. But yeah, I'm like, how can this be written? But I'm like, oh, this is the guy I think that did Uncut Gems. This isn't about ping pong. This is about somebody
hustle.
Yeah, being completely self-destructive. Also the world around him. But I would say it's like 40% the world around him was out to fuck him, but 60% was his own hubris and his own downfall.
It was his own fuckery. Let's be honest here. Like that's what the man was doing.
It's like for me,
it's like every moment where I'm supposed to like you do something that makes me be like, I hate your guts.
Yeah, you grifting bastard. Yeah. But no, it's like that movie, The Wrestler, that came out in like 2008. I would tell him like, it doesn't matter if you don't like pro wrestling. That's not what this movie is. And I would tell people like, you don't have to enjoy the sport of ping pong because this movie isn't about ping pong. So we were real close with that one.
We were real close. That was a good one. That's good. My number 6, which this might be a surprise to both of you, because I have a feeling this one might be higher on the list, is One Battle After Another. I was not sure I was going to like this film just because I tend to be one of those people who's like, if everyone else is talking about it, I'm be like, yeah, no, I'm probably not going to like it. But I like Paul Thomas Anderson. I liked the clips I was seeing that were just on TikTok, because I don't know, Becky, if you do this, where like you'll see clips from movies or on TikTok and be like, oh, what the hell is that? And then immediately be like, I'll go search it out. And I kept seeing the ones with Sean Penn's face like completely like ripped apart. And I'm like, I haven't seen a movie with his face ripped apart. I probably should go find it. And so I streamed it literally must have been like 2 weeks ago on HBO Max, and I really liked it and was really riveted by all of the action and the whole premise of this underground resistance movement that Leo was a part of, and now he can't, like the scene where he's like trying to remember the password and he's going back and forth,
just drunk,
like,
drinking, smoking himself stupid.
Yeah, he's like, do you know who I am? Do you know what I did? And then he's like, let me get your superior. And that whole back and forth, I'm just like, this is funny and at the same time serious at points. And I love that mixture with it. And I mean, it's another thing too, where just like with Bugonia, it pulls from reality in a little bit, and then it amplifies it to an 11. You know, like that's, I think, what works with these sort of movies is like they pull a little bit from reality, but then they like, how can we turn this up to kind of ridiculous proportions? But yeah, One Battle After Another was a great film.
Yeah. It made my honorable mention. It was very good. I saw it in VistaVision, which is like they put I think the film goes through horizontally through the camera. It was a really cool way he shot it in VistaVision. It was amazing. I liked it a lot. I didn't like it enough to put it in my top 10, but I thought it was great. And I think I mentioned earlier that I think Leonardo DiCaprio is a national treasure. And Johnny Greenwood, I'm obsessed with Radiohead, so I just think his talent's unparalleled. I don't think this score is tantamount to like There Will Be Blood, which felt like its own character or anything. But I just think I just love hearing his creations. But yeah,
great picks. All right, let's move on. We're halfway there. Number 5. What do you got, Becky?
Oh, I got Presents, Steven Soderbergh's film. This film I saw in January of last year. And it was one of those films, like I sang with the Bone Temple, which was one of those films where I'm like, this is a lock for my top 10, and it's the year just started. And it didn't move much it was number 5. It made number 5. So I didn't know where it was going to land, but I knew it was a lock. I was floored by this film. It is a really haunting movie. It's told, it's really short. It's less than 90 minutes long. It's told from the POV of a ghost. So there's a house, and the camera, which is Steven Soderbergh is the one that directed it, but the actual camera, he's the ghost in the way. Like the camera that is the POV of the ghost is a camera that Steven Soderbergh held throughout the film. He had to put on like special shoes to not make a lot of noise when he was going through the house. But it's really powerfully told because you essentially go through the house and you get to hear snippets of conversations about a family, and you piece together something's happening, but what does this mean? And just there's drama within the family. You hear that there's a death, that the reason why they moved to this, it's a new house. They moved to this new house, and there's the girl in the house, her friend has died, and there's like a mystery around that. And so you get to see the POV from the ghost. It's really just thrilling. Camera work, like I said, it's mesmerizing, really moving. The ending of the movie completely floored me. And what's really funny is I was on a podcast earlier this year, Horror Movie Survival Guide. We chose a movie to celebrate, and that was it, Presents. And I not sure how I missed it, but there's like a reveal at the end of the movie that I sort of missed. And while we were on the podcast, I realized it on the podcast. You actually get to hear me in real time be like, oh my God, wait, what? And it like my mind kind of exploded on the podcast, where I think it's kind of obvious probably to most people that see the movie, this thing. But I don't know how I missed it, but it's really kind of a mind-blowing ending, and it's really beautiful and profound and a haunting film. And again, it's very short. I loved it so much. So that movie is my number 5.
Yeah, God, that movie feels like a lifetime ago because it was last January. It was a year ago. I remember I saw that with my mom, and I had to, like, my mom's was a very educated woman, very smart woman, but like I had to explain that ending to her for about 40 minutes at dinner afterwards for her to really wrap her head around it. Just kind of looking at me like, like a dog you're trying to like tell like math equations to. It's like,
so funny. I love the movie, and I didn't even like really, I just thought, oh, this happened, but I don't think I actually got that twist until like almost a year later when I was talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, what? Yeah.
That's cool. John, what's your number 5?
All right. And Brian, you just said this about your list. I think I might get some surprise from all Ian's folks over here. My number 5 is Sinners.
Oh, really?
What's wrong with number 5?
Should not be number 5. Should be up.
It's in the top 5.
I mean, okay.
Top 10 best films of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Why did you put it number 5?
Well, really, honestly, you say, why did you put it number 5? Because there was 4 movies I thought were better on my list. But no,
shame.
No, but obviously, check our back catalog if you want our take on it. We had Jordan the Grey Witch on there as our guest. We break this down thoroughly. But I mean, it's just a fantastic film, an original film. And I mean, it revolves around vampires. You go, I've seen it, but not this way. You haven't, and
very different.
It's a great character study. It's a great exploration on the history of racism in this country and how it's still happening. Every day is just hopefully one step forward for a better tomorrow. But it's just an incredible performance by Michael B. Jordan, playing two characters, and just really just an exploration on the American dream, the downfall of hubris, and the love of what music can do to bring us together.
Okay, fine. Number 5. My number 5 pick was Companion. I was surprised by this movie so much. It was another one of these like sleepers. It was thrown in like right towards February, right, to get the Valentine's Day people. And I saw this on streaming and I was just like, oh, let's go watch it. Let's see how good it is. And I loved it. I'm not a big Jack Quaid fan. I like him in The Boys, but he was a real piece of shit in this movie.
He has that punchable face.
He really does.
I think he's kind of dreamy. That's so funny.
Okay, I mean, that's okay.
I know he's divisive, but it's so funny. I have a friend that really hates him too. But I'm like, oh, he's...
Well, one of his other movies is in my worst list, so there you go.
We talked about Timothée Chalamet. He also has that, like, half the people think he's so dreamy, the other half want to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
So funny.
But I love this film from a horror standpoint. There were lots of comedy in this. I was cracking up during like the stop where I forget the name of the actress who plays the lead in it. But when she turns around, she's suddenly speaking German because she turned her settings to German to try to throw off the cop. I'm like, those sort of moments of levity really work well with the rest of the horror in this.
I was looking down when she switched to German, and I got most of what she was saying correct. So thank you to Mr. Way, my high school German teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I loved Companion. It was great little it's a nice little like snackable horror movie. Like it's not too heavy. It's got lots of comedy to break it up. But I thought it was great.
God, I loved Companion too. I thought it was hilarious and sick and twisted and so clever. And I especially, there's a part where she's a robot and she figures out that she looks at her settings and she realizes that the intelligence setting is like at 20% or something. It's
40,
like,
I think.
40, 40. And she's like, what is this? And then she like, because of course he wants a girlfriend that's not as smart or whatever. So she dials it up to like 100 or whatever.
Well, she is a fuck doll, right? I mean, I don't know if I'd want my fuck doll like I
don't know. Maybe you want them to be everything. So smart. But anyway,
maybe you want your fuck doll to solve equations.
What
John?
if it's at like? What if it's at like 2%? Does it just say ready for fuck?
So crazy. She doesn't know that she's that. She thinks she's loved. It's very sad and heartbreaking in a lot of ways. So
I love the fact that they all have like all of the dolls themselves have the same backstory and how they meet their person. Like you have, you've got the Halloween party, or you have the meet cute in the grocery store.
Yeah. Like those are the only two.
Well, those are the only two presets you have.
They're really funny, but they're like they do them so well. Like you're like, oh, what a cute way to have met someone. It's so funny. Yeah. I really, really, really dug this movie. That was one of the beginning of the year. I was like, God, what a great time for like horror with Hard Eyes and Companion and Presence. Just like really, just what a time to be a horror fan. And like they're all funny and like clever and great film.
Awesome. All right, we're coming down the pipe here. Number 4, Becky, what do you got for number 4?
Yeah, I kind of met. It's Sorry Baby, and I jumped the gun when John talked about Sorry Baby. I'm like, it's my number 4. I love it so much. So I already talked about it. So although Sinners is higher on my list, I will wait until that is on my list to talk about it because I keep going rogue. So I already talked about it. So you guys can move on to your number 4.
John, what do you got for number 4?
One Battle After Another.
Okay.
I didn't even know if I was going to really enjoy this film, but man, I didn't see it in theaters. But then I heard like all the hype and I'm like, oh man, please come. Because it was like, you could rent it for like $30 and I'm like, I'm cheap. And then finally it got its HBO Max release and I checked it out right away. And yeah, I thought it had great tension, but great tension with comedy. But I love movies that are talking about things that are happening in our world. And this movie was certainly not subtle about, gee, was that a commentary on ice? Is that a commentary on the power structure that it is? Or like, let's fight fire with fire, aka let's throw a Molotov to incite a riot in the crowd because there are peaceful protesters. Like, I'm like, where do I remember that from? So yeah, the movie was not subtle, and I'm glad that it took you by the throat of its commentary on the world that we're living in. And yeah, I think for its long runtime, it helped me the entire time. And I was I the only one laughing at Sean Penn's busted up face at the end of the movie?
No, I laughed too.
Yeah, I laughed too.
I don't know how he survived a shotgun blast in the face, but
he wouldn't. But like the fact that he just kept like he has one like moment where he's like screaming at his daughter saying, "I want to be a Christmas adventure." I'm like, do you really have to say that like with a straight face? That it's on the paper, but it's like I was busting up when he was going on and on.
And then they just kill him and throw him in an incinerator.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, my number 4 pick. This is one we already did a full episode on. But The Running Man was my
number 4. Okay.
It was number 4. Yeah. And I think I made it number 4 because I was really not expecting much from this movie. I went into it thinking you cannot replace the goofy Arnold Schwarzenegger film from the 80s. You cannot replace that. But I was pleasantly surprised coming out of this theater how much I really love the film. And I thought that it played a lot on a lot of the society issues that we're dealing with now, but it did it in a way of like, how could we amplify that up? And you're noticing like a trend. The movies I'm picking are ones that do pull a lot from society. And, the movie did not do well. I have theories on why. I mentioned earlier that, I think people were expecting Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim. They didn't get that. I also think people just really don't like Glenn Powell. Like, they just Hollywood tries to keep making him a thing, and it's just not working. And I don't know why. He wasn't bad in this movie. I thought the way that they handled the story itself was very different from the original. And I don't know. I liked it, but I know a lot of people didn't. And my hope is that it becomes a cult classic in years to come. It's a good film. It's not a bad film.
I bet it'll clean up on streaming. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, Scott Pilgrim failed at the box office, but it's become a cult classic currently. So
that movie should have just been called Cult Classic versus The World, because like that, it was destined to be that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Becky, you got thoughts on Running Man? Did you see it?
I did see it. I like it. It was fun. It was a fun movie. I didn't like love it or anything, but it was definitely fun. I really like Glenn Powell. I don't understand why he's not something, because I just think he's great. And I thought he was amazing in Hitman. That was on number 8 on my best films of the year list last year, the Richard Linklater film. Mm-hmm. I think that it's hard to find someone. I just think he's really he's just like, they haven't found like a good match for him until that movie. I think Adria Arjona is how you say her name. She was like the perfect match for him. I think they had such great chemistry. I love them. I could see 10 more movies with the two of them together in it. I love them together. Because I think they normally match him up with someone. I don't think that equates to how I just think he's just wonderful. And so I'm kind of bummed that he's not doing better, because I think he's a very good actor and he's very good looking and he's great. Yeah. So I'm kind of bummed that I just think that he needs to be the right man. He needs to be more Richard Linklater movies. And I kind of wish that film was theatrical and it wasn't just streaming, because I think it would have done really well.
Yeah. All right. We're coming down to our top 3. So Becky, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Sinners.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make number 1.
No, it's okay.
I know you're like,
it's
what
okay.
the hell? It's fine. Yeah, I love Sinners so much. It was intoxicating. It's funny because this is a movie where I didn't love the trailer. When that trailer came out, I thought it looked fine.
It's not a really good trailer.
No,
I'll be the first to say, like, I was watching the trailer earlier.
Yeah, I remember I was like, what, like, fine, this is a vampire movie. I had tended on, I'm like, I'll check it out. And then a few days before it came out, there was a lot of buzz about it. And I kind of peripherally heard, hey, this is actually really good. I actually don't try to seek out trailers, and typically, even though I work in marketing and we do make trailers, but I like to go in blind. But I had seen this trailer so much before movies, I was like, this looks whatever. But then when I heard it was peripherally like, oh, it was really good, I'm like, I'm going to go. So I went by myself. I saw it in IMAX and I was floored. I thought it was electrifying and sexy and transcendent and stylish and just amazing. Like, I was floored by it. And I ended up seeing it again. I did see it in IMAX, but then a friend of mine, actually my friend who, my influencer friend Paul, like I told you, that one that got me to see K-pop Demon Hunters, he saw it a few weeks later and he's like, oh my God, we have to see it in 70 millimeters. So we literally drove 2.5 hours to see it in 70 millimeter a few weeks later because it was sold out in LA, all the 70 millimeters. And seeing it in 70 millimeter IMAX was even more transcendent seeing it then than in the normal IMAX, which is amazing. I just think I wrote in my write-up for the film that the compositions are staggering. I said the performances are pitch perfect. The tempo's invigorating. And there's that juke joint scene with all the music. Like, literally so felt like I was like leaving my own body. It was so amazing. So it's just an extraordinary achievement. I loved it so much. It is even more powerful, like I said, seeing it in IMAX, even in more in 70 millimeter. I think it's a lock for best film of the year, not best film, an Oscar nomination. I hope it wins. I know it's got a lot of competition. I hope Ryan Coogler's a lock for best director. I hope Michael B. Jordan's a lock for best actor. It's an extraordinary film. I love that it's a horror film. And I really hope it gets a lot of love this year and gets a lot of awards.
Same here. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak enough about Sinners. I mean, I thought it was an absolutely amazing horror movie that, in my hope, trying to get vampires right is a tough thing. And mixing in social commentary, making it about music, making it about people is something that, not many horror movies can do. And this one does it in spades.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it didn't even make Brian's list?
Yeah, wouldn't it be amazing?
What a twist.
Wouldn't it be amazing? What a twist. All right, John, what do you got for number 3?
Number 3 is a movie that I didn't even think much about, but I saw it on a bunch of lists, so I checked it out and fell in love with it. It's Train Dreams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a strange thing to kind of say this, but it's a beautiful exploration on human sadness. Nicole Kidman would agree with me. Somehow, tragedy feels great in a place like this.
Heartbreak feels good in a place like
this. Feels great in a place like this. I don't think it does, but okay.
But
I had a friend that broke up with a girl, and the day before, the week before that happened, that he saw one of those, and one of his friends is like, "Is this true?" And he's like, "No."
He's like, "No, I'm pretty sure heartbreak feels like heartbreak, even if I'm in
like
the theater.
I got my heart ripped out. This is not better."
But yeah, just an incredible exploration of because the person's on a journey, literally in the movie, but the journey of life itself, and kind of taking a moment, towards the end to reflect and allowing positivity to win, even in the face of unspeakable loss. Which is the hardest thing to do if you've gone through severe tragedy in your life, to look at the bright side of life. Like, tell that to somebody who's going through it and they'll punch you right in the face.
Yeah. My number 3 was The Monkey.
Oh, I love The Monkey.
Yes, love that movie.
Yeah, so peek behind the curtain. When we did our, and I have no problem saying this, when we did our recording of the Stephen King films of the year, John, you had mentioned The Monkey. I had not seen it yet. I hadn't had a chance to see it. So after we came back from the Erie Horror Fest, I went and watched it, and I was blown the fuck away by it. I was
if you're wondering
absolutely blown the fuck away.
If you're wondering why I'm talking even more than usual, that's why when we talk about that movie.
When John talks about more than usual, it's mostly because I might not have seen the film. Yeah. And I am one of those guys who's like, if I haven't seen the film, I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah. But I saw The Monkey after the fact because I wanted to see it because of what you were talking about. And man, it's so fucking good. Osgood Perkins is great as a filmmaker. I really love this film. I love the fact you have one actor playing two people, two diametrically opposed people, and just like the generational trauma of this monkey. Like this monkey is haunting his whole family.
Yeah.
And it's so good. So good. Lots of great gore in it. The ending sequence is insane.
Yeah. Just bonkers, but like just great in the greatest way.
Batshit insane. And it clearly made my number 3 because of that.
I loved The Monkey. I thought it was diabolical and like deliriously entertaining and just so hilarious and such a good time in the movie. I laughed so hard in the movie. I saw that at the Vista in LA, and it was a sold out crowd. And at the end of it, we walked out, and they had pulled up a big bus of the cheerleaders. You know that scene at the end of the cheerleaders get wiped out. There was I think I have a picture. I don't know if I posted it online, but it's all the cheerleaders like with half of their bodies coming out of a bus, and that was something. I think it was opening weekend at the Vista, and I remember it came out. My friend and I were like, "What?" Because there was this bus out front. It was really fun that they pulled it up for us, and it wasn't a special screening. It was just opening weekend. It was so fun seeing it there and being in a crowd full of people just roaring with laughter and like being shocked. And it was a fantastic film. And that's another one, like I said, companion, presence, The Monkey, what was the other one? Hard Eyes. Just like what a great time to be a horror fan, especially in the beginning of the year. And then we got
Bring Her Back too.
Bring Her Back. Well, it's mixing the horror with comedy. I think that's the key there, is finding that balance. It's like sweet and savory. You mix the two together.
Yeah.
You get something really special. So yeah.
I got a feeling I can guess Brian's top 2.
Shut up. Won't. All right, let's move on to number 2. Becky, what do you have for number 2?
I have Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier's film.
Okay.
Loved this movie. It's beautifully profound. I saw it twice now. I saw it once in the theater, and then I was like, maybe it was like I wanted to see it one more time before the end of the year, and I paid like $20 a week ago to rewatch it. Actually, it was $20 to buy, and like I think like I don't know, 18 to rent or something crazy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. And now I'm so happy that I own it because it is, I think I wrote like in my little write-up that it is sort of, what did I write? I think it's like cozy and devastating and melancholy all at the same time. I feel like this is a film that I'm going to revisit a lot because I just like being in this world. It's like it's a sadness throughout the whole thing, but it's also it's extraordinary. It's about a broken family, kind of broken people. I think my list in general, the best films of the year are all about broken people this year. That's really what resonated the most with me, I think. But this is about two sisters who their father is a major filmmaker, and he sort of left them when they were kids to go off and do filmmaking, and it really affected them. And I think in general, like I said, movies that you can relate to, just not like that's ever happened to me. I had a great upbringing, but like I think it's just like just realizing that there are things that can happen in your life for all of us, small things that can happen in your upbringing, things your parents have said to you, things that have just happened that can affect who you are. And these two sisters react a little differently to their upbringing. And the house in the movie that they grew up in is its own character. It's very powerful in the beginning and the end. It kind of bookends the movie. All the performances are extraordinary, but Renata Rensby is probably the most extraordinary. The sister, I can't remember the actress that was her sister, who's probably a lock for Best Supporting. She is extraordinary too. But it's just like a wonderful film, and I think it helps to show again how, like, you can go back to K-pop Demon Hunters, but like that things that happen to you when you're growing up, those voices inside your head can affect your whole life. They can affect who you become, and like, you know, choosing love and not having things work out and not believing that you're worthy, and overcoming that and becoming the best version of you, and like realizing that this family has affected them, and there's hope. And it's just so wonderfully profound. I loved it so much, and it's a movie that I think that I'm going to love for the rest of my life, and I'm really glad that I own it now. And I think that when it does come out on physical media, I will probably own it in that format as well.
Great. John, what was your number 2 pick?
All right, Becky, get your hand up here. We got to shake. We got to shake on this one.
Oh, we're shaking?
Yeah.
We're shaking.
Should I take it like this? Sorry.
Yeah, wait, there we go. Yeah.
There we go. I don't know how it works. Here.
My number 2 is sentimental value.
Yes!
And basically,
how exciting.
I just say
number 2.
Yeah, I'll say ditto. I think you nailed it. Like
all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You absolutely nailed everything that this movie's about. And I think it's fascinating to watch. Yeah. To watch an exploration of somebody who desperately wants to connect but has no idea how to properly do it. Like, you know, he's doing it in the way that he's driven them away his entire life, and he's trying to use that same way to connect with them. And it's sad to watch somebody who just has no idea, who wants connection but doesn't know how to do it.
It's also amazingly talented. You can tell this person is like so talented, this filmmaker, and he chose a great career and went on, but then he, you know, doesn't have great relationship with his daughters.
Yeah. My number 2 pick, Becky, your shirt's got it. It's Weapons.
Yes.
I know it.
Yes.
You're like, well, I know what Brian's number 1 is. Shut up. Yeah, Weapons. I did not, like with most of these films that I've mentioned, I did not really follow the trailers or any of the marketing leading up to it. So I kind of went into it cold, and I saw it for our review of it and was absolutely blown away by it. I mean, it was one where I was like, what is this movie about? Because you know, the title, what I love about the title of this film is that it doesn't give away 100% what the movie is actually about and deals with. But then you watch and you're just like, oh, this is like Memento in a horror movie. And, you know, we're all connecting all the pieces as we watch it. And I was listening to your episode with Zach Cregger, and he was talking about how Weapons had this very like unorthodox structure. And I think it plays to its benefit because it keeps you engaged, because it locks you in. And I mean, that is not even talking about, you know, Gladys, who, you know, Amy Madigan stole the fucking show, coming out of left field. I had to do a double take. I'm like, is that what's her face from Field of Dreams? But yeah, I mean, great film all around, great performances. Clearly one of my favorites of the horror genre this year, especially just elevating it to something that is beyond just a straight up like genre film. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Let's go now to our number 1 picks. Becky, I have a feeling what I just said might be that, but what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Weapons.
So we can kind of shaft shake.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. How do we do this?
Fist bump. There we go.
Fist bump is so much better. So can I just say how much I love you two? Like that I love it. Like I love that we have John and I have the same number 2, and your number 2 is my 1. So it's great. I loved Weapons so much. I just have to say, rare. I don't know if it's rare, but this was my most anticipated film of the year. I had sky high expectations for this film. I really love Barbarian. This was a time where it exceeded my expectations. Sometimes we can go in with sky high expectations and they don't meet them. I loved this movie so much that I saw it 4 times in the theater.
Wow.
I couldn't stop taking people to see it. I was like, I saw it, and then I'm like, I have to have my dad to see it, and then one of my favorite people, I had to take him to see it because I'm like, you haven't seen this movie, you have to see it. And then the fourth time I was sort of dragged to see it because a friend of mine hadn't seen it yet. So he took me to see it. But like I would have seen it more times. It's so amazing. It's a tightly constructed mystery. It's revealed layer by layer. It has like an amazing story structure. I think Zach Cregger is a horror auteur now. Yeah. He's got 2 movies, but he is just a master. He is making a Resident Evil movie in September, and I don't know if I can say this, but it's so good. The script is extraordinary. He's just an amazing writer and an amazing director. I think it's fresh and bold and exhilarating. There are things in the film like that dark doorway and the basement reveal, I think are terrifying stuff. One of the reasons why I love John Carpenter, I think that I wrote on my second letterbox entry that this is John Carpenter level shit. I wrote because I think he should be in the same breath as John Carpenter, which is a massive compliment, even though he only has 2 films under his belt. The scene where oh my gosh, what's the actress's name? I cannot remember her name.
Is it Ruth?
No,
from
no, the main actress. Oh my God, I can't remember her name for some reason. But the scene where the teacher in the movie is in she's in a car and she's kind of doing stakeout on a house. A door opens and a character comes out. Again, a lot of people haven't seen this movie, which is I can't wait. It's ahead of you, and I can't wait for you to see it.
Criminal that you haven't seen it.
That scene was one of the most terrifying scenes I've ever seen in a movie. And what I liken to John Carpenter's Halloween is like there are things in Halloween that happen off camera. There's not a lot of gore. It's a lot of stuff like what your imagination could conjure up is far more scarier. The feeling I had when there's this character coming towards this car with the music, the Holiday Brothers scored it, and it was extraordinary score. It was fight or flight for me. Like I've had moments like that. I had it during the Paranormal Activity movie. I've had it during Blair Witch. There's some movies that happen where I actually think to myself, am I going to handle this? I don't know if I need to leave. Like, cause I'm so scared right now. I was so scared of what was going to happen. Also seeing it multiple times, the sound design is just electric. Things like, there's a lot of car doors in the movie. The slamming of car doors, the closing of car doors, that's impactful too. There's so much happening with the movie, with the story structure, with the sound design, with the acting. It is a revelation. I think it's a horror masterpiece. And I wrote in my letterbox review that every once in a while, a film that comes along and rocks your world, and this one is mine. I love this movie so much. I could again talk about it for 3 hours. I loved it. And this is my shirt. My first time wearing this. This is my weapons shirt. That's Take On Season of the Witch. It's like the Halloween Season of the Witch, kind of an inspiration of it. But I absolutely loved it. Best film of the year. And I've actually met quite a few people recently who haven't seen it and also don't know even the reveal at the end.
See it.
I think if you haven't and you don't know anything about it for some reason, go in blind if you haven't. And I don't know how you can't get spoiled by now, but it's so worth seeing and it's so fun, the reveal. And then the Gladys character, the scene where you first see her through that frosty glass in the principal's office, it's just exhilarating. The film is a masterpiece.
Yeah. Yeah, no, well said.
Thank you.
Well said. John, what's your number 1 pick?
Well, now I feel like a dickhead with, bring her back is like the older man's weapons. No, hold on, let me smell my farts. But my number 1, I think that sometimes filmmaking can be more than just an art form. It can be a revolutionary thing. And so for my number 1, I have It Was Just an Accident, which is an Iranian film shot in secret because they weren't allowed to make it, about, what do you do when you have been the product of years of imprisoned abuse, when you've committed no crime, and then you find you try to move on with your life and you find that abuser, and the whole movie is about what to do with this individual, and do you become just as bad, or is it just as bad, or is it justified? And that whole exploration of what it means to survive that, and what do you owe yourself in terms of turning the other cheek, or like, well, hey, you didn't go through what I did, so fuck you, turn the other cheek. Like, and that whole exploration, and the fact that it was shot in secret because they weren't allowed to make this movie, to me, that film as revolution is an incredible thing. So that's why it was my number one.
Good pick.
Pick. I really liked that movie a lot. It was a fantastic film.
My number one, no surprise here, was Sinners. Like,
I thought you were going to say Happy Gilmore too.
No. Becky, I honestly went back and forth on this for me for a while, and it's been a thing that I've been like, is it Weapons? Is it Sinners?
Yeah.
Which one is it? And
they're
both so good. But I think for me, the reason why Sinners wins out is the music aspect of it. The fact that it goes and adds that other dimension to it that, elevates it beyond just a horror movie. And I think some of the subtext on racism, especially in the Deep South at that time period, is something that I think resonates more. So yeah, that's my number one pick. I love that film, and I hope it wins something at the Oscars, even though the Oscars tend to really hate horror movies.
They nominated Get Out. That was extra.
They nominate all day long, Becky.
But there are so many movies that they don't nominate that I think they should. But yeah, most of the times the movies they nominate aren't like my favorite films, but it's always nice when I think the only time ever in my whole lifetime that the best film of the year, the Oscar went to a film that was actually my number one favorite film of the year was Parasite. And that show was on February 9th, my birthday. They moved the awards up that year for some reason, a month up. So I watched the Oscars on my birthday, and it was like the best birthday present ever for like my favorite film of the year to win the Oscar. It's like, I just think that's never going to happen in my life where like they end up awarding it. Art is so subjective that a lot of people, don't like that we even rank and give awards to movies because they're also set different. And obviously it shows with our lists are all different too, because it's like, how do you compare Sinners and Weapons? But it's just so exciting to be a horror fan and just like a movie fan that these two films exist in the same year.
I don't know. I really wanted The Substance to win last year. I really was like, oh, come on. But I get it. All right, I want to blow through our worst movies of 2025 a little bit because we took a good bit of time.
Yeah,
going over best.
Justifiably.
No, it's great.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like I'm
justifiable.
When like diatribes are like super.
No, I love it. I love this sort of thing. So I'm gonna blow through my worst ones first. Okay.
Yeah. Becky, you're saving the negativity for us, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go through this. I have no specific order to these. But I have Novocaine, Final Destination Bloodlines.
Novocaine, okay, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, no, I just don't like Jack Quaid. Okay. I really don't like him.
You did say Jack Quaid would be on your worst, yeah.
Yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines, we did a whole review on it. I don't know why they keep making these movies. It was great to see Tony Todd in it one last time, but no. Tron Ares, I really wanted to like this movie because I am a Nine Inch Nails fan. I love Trent Reznor that he did the soundtrack for it, but man, that movie was a fucking stinker. And it's a shame because the fact that we probably will never get another Tron movie because Jared Leto had to take the reins on this movie and make it all about him.
He had to Leto it.
He had to Leto it, and it's not good. We mentioned this last week as one of the ones that where it's like, why do these keep making money? But that Jurassic World movie, I don't even know what type, which
Rebirth.
For Rebirth, is that what it is this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Better than the last one, but still not very good. Kind of marveling it, in my opinion. I have The Alto Knights, a movie that is very good if you are watching on a plane, as I was. But outside of that, why are we trying to make The Irishman, but with two De Niros playing, each other.
So they needed 3 De Niros. Is what
they
you're
need
saying.
3 De Niros. If they had 3 De Niros,
it could have been like multiplicity. Like there could have been like a dumb one at the end.
That might have made it better. That might have made it.
Wait,
better.
he was in it twice. He's played 2 characters.
Yeah, he played twin brothers.
Oh, I didn't know this.
He played.
I didn't see that movie.
Well, he didn't play twin brothers. He played 2 friends. So he played.
So they're not even related?
No, they're not related. Frank Costello and I think it was Vito Genovese. And yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Yeah, they're not related. They're just best friends.
So that's just really
who
stupid.
become enemies. Yeah. There was no reason for him to play both characters. Other than to be like, well, we made his face really like young in The Irishman. Let's just do that now, but like make 2 versions of him. Then I have Captain America: Brave New World because, Red Hulk bad. Harrison Ford playing Red Hulk was the stinker part of this whole movie to me. I couldn't get into it. I have Megan 2.0 because we didn't need another Megan movie, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys saw it. I was like, why?
We'll see.
We'll see.
My list, yeah.
When we get to your list. Then I have the Minecraft movie because I hate that film making the meme Chicken Jockey. Such a thing. Because in my house it was said over and over and over again for like a good 3 months, Chicken Jockey and the Lava Chicken song. And it's a shame because like I really like Jack Black. He's funny in just about everything. But my God, I didn't need that one. And then I also have The War of the Worlds, which is the Ice Cube Amazon movie that we all needed.
Oh, you saw that. Okay.
I did.
No, it's great. I didn't. Some of these movies I'm happy I didn't see.
Yeah, you almost have to because it's an exploration in corporate madness and corporate synergy. But
it's
I don't
Ava Longoria and
yeah.
Ice Cube. Well, Ice Cube, like he's running like some sort of like hacking ring across the
NSA.
globe.
Yeah,
he's the NSA, and like he's surprised that his family doesn't like him. Like, well, you're spying on everyone, including your family. So maybe
I
that's
looked
why
at
they
your
don't like
refrigerator. Yeah, your camera on your refrigerator. You're not eating enough fiber.
Wait, what? Is that really in the movie?
Yeah, he spies on his daughter's fridge. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's so weird. And then the top of my list, and this is one because I was like, this movie did not need to exist, and that's The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, the Hulu/Disney movie that was like, yes, Rebecca De Mornay did amazing in the 1991 version. Let's make another one that's less good.
I had no idea that they did a remake.
It did. It's terrible. It's utterly everything you like about that original one.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Becky, if you've seen the original one,
yeah, I have.
So good.
Yeah.
And then you watch this, and you're just like, wow, how can you make it so bad? Like, yeah. I mean, we talked about it during our Stalker movies episode, and it was such a stinker that I was just like, this is terrible. But yeah, that's my worst films of 2025.
All right,
John, what do you got for terrible stinkers of the year?
My top 10 here. Number 10, just sneaking in, is Happy Gilmore 2. Did not need to exist. At first, I was kind of cynical about it. I'm like, well, what did I expect? So whatever. But the more I thought about it, Happy Gilmore is that type of character that Adam Sandler played when he was like young and it was the 90s. And to revisit a character, I really hope they don't try to do Billy Madison too, where it's just
I'll guarantee that's coming.
It's best,
guarantee you that's coming.
It's best just to leave these characters as young people. Just like, oh, he's like old and sad and he killed his wife and he's an alcoholic. Like, yay, Happy Gilmore.
I liked it
back.
For what it was, John.
Yeah.
Like, I liked it as like, this is a dumb fucking movie and I'm gonna enjoy the dumb fucking movie. Okay, like that's all it was. That's it. I'm not looking for anything great. It was the popcorniest of popcorn movies.
Number 9, Woman in the Yard.
I didn't see that one.
I wanted to see that and I didn't get to.
It's a commentary on grief, but you figured that out in the first 5 minutes, and then it goes on for another 90. And it just never stops. Number 8 is a movie nobody saw because it has Daisy Ridley in it, and that's The Cleaner.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Didn't see it.
It's like, imagine you want to rip off Die Hard, but you also don't have any talent or money.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. I don't understand how they keep making these, and I guess they're done unless it made a bunch of money, and that's Conjuring: The Last Rites.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh.
I didn't even see that one. I saw the Devil Made Me Do It, and I was just like, these don't need to exist.
I had to get out of the house, and I'm like, well, I probably need movies for my worst movie of the year list. So I went in kind of like already thinking it was going to stink, and that's not the best mindset to go in, but I wasn't wrong.
Plus, there is the whole like fact that the real life ghost hunters are allegedly not the greatest people.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah. Number 6, Brian. I also have Jurassic World Afterbirth.
Afterbirth. Yeah, I mean it's John. It's we didn't need another one.
No,
but it made money, so they'll keep making more.
People love dinosaurs. They don't care. Yeah, you put a T-Rex
really
in a
don't.
movie, it'll make $1 billion. But no matter how bad it is. Yeah, Megan 2.0, there's a problem when you're in on the gag. Like,
yes,
this was the first Megan was beloved by, the gay community, but it was organic. And they went, whoa, let's just lean into that now. Like, but it's like, no, now that you're in on it, you ruined it. It's like,
it reminds me of Birdemic 2.
Yeah.
Like the first Birdemic, it's so terrible, but people love it. And then the minute they were like,
we're in on the joke
make
now.
a sequel and make it silly. It's like, nah, dude, you just lost the magic right there.
Number 4, I have Final Destination Bloodlines. Like, I get it. Like, there are people that love certain franchises and they're ride or die until the end. I know people that love the Fast and Furious movies. I know people, and like, look, man, if you fucking love this franchise, you probably will never get sick of them. But I thought this was a stupid movie for stupid people.
I mean, it's basically Rube Goldberg of Death, the movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what these movies are. And don't get me wrong, like this wasn't as terrible, but I mean, I don't know why they need to exist anymore.
Well, every once in a while, I'll watch like a franchise of horror movies that I haven't seen, like stopped watching. Like, so I went through and watched all the Saws and all the Paranormal Activities, just a lot
of Saws.
Yeah, just to watch like the whole franchise because like I either watch one or two or none of them. Final Destination, I'd never seen any of them, and I think after like I watched the first 3, and I knew there's like 2 or 3 more after that, and I'm like, I can't. It's the same movie every fucking time. I can't watch this anymore. So I could not be a completionist for that. But number 3, and I think a lot of this hatred for this movie before it even came out came from sexism, but there's a lot of reasons other than that it's not beloved, and that's Snow White. Really, I think a lot of the hate comes from toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I think that has to be said first. What is her name? Rachel, is it
Zegler?
Rachel Zegler, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, like, men like, I don't like that she's brown and a woman speaks her mind. It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah. But it had nothing.
I guess you're not going to like the movie.
You won't like the show then. Because
you won't like the show then.
Yeah. But, and it's like, but I'm like, I didn't care about that. Good for her. But it was one of those but it was an unnecessary remake. It was ugly. The changes were unnecessary. The ending was preposterous. The dwarves were the hideous damn thing you've ever seen. It was just and I'm sorry, but Gal Gadot, excuse me, is a horrible actress. And it just wasn't good. And it was not what the audience is clamoring for. Like, they had a niche where it was like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and a lot of stuff like movies my generation grew up with, Little Mermaid and everything. Nobody was clamoring for Snow White. Everybody that's nostalgic for Snow White is dead. Like, I saw that in the theater.
I was kind of nostalgic for it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it is.
I mean, people that originally saw it in the theater. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned this last week. I still don't see the need to remake these movies with live action people. Like, the cynical person in me is like, this is money. Like this, they want money.
Yeah.
They have a direct audience. It's like, yes, let's go ahead and remake it. But I'm like, that amount of energy could have been directed towards, say, something new rather than a rehash. And I think like with Snow White, Disney was on a really good track record with these sort of like live action legacy movies. But I think like this one is where they hit the skids, and it's like, nah, I don't think that's working anymore. Probably because of all the things that you talked about, John. But I didn't see the need for it.
Yeah. But I mean, the need for them, Brian, is that they make money.
Yes, I know that. That's
yeah. Well, I love my favorite one is Lion King. It's like the live action. No, it's not.
So it's not live action.
It's different animation.
It's CGI animation. It's still animated.
Yeah.
My daughter loved that one.
Oh, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, it's not a live action.
Yeah.
It's just
it's not
more realistic
they look
animation.
Real, though.
Yeah. And then lastly, Brad, I can't believe this wasn't your number one, because Brad, we have to do this for the show because it is the most mind-boggling propagandic corporate.
I was going to say
synergy.
Neil Breen didn't make a movie last year, so it's not one of those movies.
But the most mind-boggling propagandic corporate synergy nonsense movie I've ever seen in my life, War of the Worlds. This movie,
I did have it on my list.
Yeah, but number 2. This is a number one.
I didn't have any sort of like order to mine.
Oh, see, and I forgot to make my Space Jam a New Legacy joke or whatever. I'd make that every year.
I didn't have any order to mine, but yes, no, War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
It's incredible though. Like, part of me loves it though because of what it is. Like the part where the guy's like, "Oh, here, I'm going to use our drone. It's the future of delivery by Amazon." It's just like, wow, this is like North Korea level of propaganda. This is fucking bad, but it's hilarious.
Becky, the fact that you were like, "Oh, you saw that movie," like you see a lot of movies, you're like, "Oh, you watched that one."
Well, I don't seek out bad movies. So far, I'm not like a critic who has to see like 300 movies a year, and so then you end up seeing a lot of bad movies. So sometimes I will see bad movies. But I don't try to see bad movies. I think I heard about it being awful later, but now I kind of want to see it because it sounds like bonkers.
That is one that you watch when you're with friends and you drink. Those are the only ways.
If you partake in something that makes you feel silly inside, yeah,
that's the only way.
I feel like I need to defend 2 movies that you listed.
Oh, go ahead.
Which ones?
Because, okay, so I told the audience, I told Brian and John that I'm not going to do a worse list because I want to be very positive. So now I'm going to be even more positive because I'm going to defend 2 movies that you guys
defend
hated.
Away.
One of them was on both of your lists, which was Final Destination Bloodlines. So here's the thing.
It's getting a lot of love. Yeah.
Here's the
thing. Go ahead, please.
I'm not a completionist with this franchise. I think I saw the first 1 or 2. I wasn't gonna see this movie. I actually heard a lot of buzz that it was very good. So I think I was trying to think of something to do that weekend, and I'm like, oh. So I just took myself. A lot of times I take myself out on a date, and I go see a movie by myself, and I'm a very nice date for myself. I really dug it. I thought it was like maniacal mayhem. Like I thought it was, and maybe it's because I haven't seen all the other ones, and I'm not sick of them, but I thought that it had genuine world building, and I thought the deaths were super outrageous and meticulous and precise. And like, I felt like full of glee sometimes when certain people died, and maybe they're like very similar to other deaths. I also think it's very funny in a movie like this where the people like, oh, their brother died or whatever died, and like they get over it in 2 seconds, and like, oh, like how many of you think you'd be genuinely like torn up about it, but they really weren't. So that was fascinating too. But I really dug it. I didn't expect to, and maybe it's because I'm not jaded because I haven't seen all the other ones. I've only seen the first 2, but I really had a really fun time at the movie seeing it.
It's a fun movie. Don't get me wrong when I say that we disliked it.
Well, I mean, it's not like I made it, so I don't care if you guys hated it or anything.
Well,
I just really dug it.
I mean, I think for me, it's a fun movie to watch, and we did our whole review on it. in which I said, like, I didn't despise this movie, but it was a thing where I just kept saying to myself, like, one, they're changing the rules of how these movies work compared to like the original, which was more or less like, yeah, you can cheat death, but they were like, no, this is all connected to a family bloodline. And it's like, ha ha ha, you know. So I can't stand it when movies don't even follow their own rules. Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's also one of those movies where, again, if you're having fun, you don't look at some of the small things, like we said before. I mean, it wasn't a masterpiece or anything, but I really had a lot of good time. And the other movie, which a lot got really panned, and I think it might have been on both your lists, was I actually really like Tron Ares. I didn't expect to.
It wasn't I didn't see it, so I can't.
I saw it in IMAX 3D, and maybe that was it.
Yeah.
At the biggest like IMAX 3D theater in LA, which is Universal. Maybe that was it too. I thought it was propulsive in all the right moments. I actually really thought it was fun. I had a really good time.
I really wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Becky.
And I don't have I don't have an affinity for the franchise either. Maybe that's it too, because I don't come to it like being so locked in with loving the franchise. But anyway, I actually thought it was really fun and I had a really good time. And I also didn't go in with sky high expectations either, but like, I dug it, and I dug both of those movies. But for some reason, something I did this year, if you guys follow me on Letterboxd, is if I love a movie or I kind of really like it, I'll usually write a little blurb, just a few sentences. So follow me on Letterboxd if you want to hear. But I don't tend to write negative stuff anymore. So if I really thought something was fun or I liked it or I loved it, I will write something. And then sometimes I get really busy and I won't write anything at all, but I'll do stars. But anyway, yeah, check it out.
I challenge you to be positive about War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah. I won't. Awesome. I will. If I don't like a movie, I won't really say anything at all. And I know that I won't probably enjoy that film. But
what's so great about it is it's partly a 2020 movie. So they have like limited people and stuff, and they set up the camera, and the camera is supposed to be Ice's like computer monitor, and they have him responding to things he has no idea. He's like, an alien just blew up a building. He goes, oh, shit, you know, and it's just like, because he has no idea what he's even responding to. They'll just put him in later, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. How funny.
Very funny. Okay, so I want to make sure that we get to talk about a little bit about director's take.
Yes.
So Becky, what is director's take, and how you know what's the premise of it? It's your show. Obviously, you're interviewing directors. Tell us a little about it.
Yeah, Director's Take, it's a Sony Pictures podcast. It premiered in September 29th, I think, or last week of September it premiered. We believe, I'm just trying to think, if we have 5 episodes out now. We do a monthly. It's what the premise of the show is. We interview directors to talk about we have them pick from the Sony Pictures catalog of films that they didn't work on. We don't go to directors to talk about films that they worked on. We what's exciting and unique and what I hope for, and I'm very happy it's come off this way, is that we go to directors and ask them to talk about movies that they didn't work on. And it's so fun because these directors, because, you know, some of them are like sick of talking about their own movies, or they just have, you know, they love their movies and that they talk about them a lot and they don't, you know, it's not as interesting anymore. But what is fun is you almost never hear them geek out about someone else's work. And all of the directors we've had to this date have all come off so warm and kind and like total movie nerds because they just gush about these movies. My favorite episode to date is the Zach Cregger episode, which is our first episode with Weapons. I'm sorry. He picked adaptation. Some of the directors subvert expectations. Like I kind of assumed he'd pick a horror film because really everything before that interview, when you looked at like his, anytime they asked him about movies, he was always recommending horror films, or they asked some of his favorite horror films. And it might be because he did Barbarian. So we kind of expected him to pick a horror film, and he picked adaptation, and we're like, yes, this is great. And he gushed about it. So it's our first episode. And there's 2 times in the episode he actually apologizes because he's gushing so much. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, because I'm gushing. And I'm like, no, this is exactly what we want. And it's been so fun. Eli Roth was our second episode, and he picked Fright Night. He just gushed about this one as well. We have done, now I'm spacing on our podcast. So we have done Will Gluck. He did St. Elmo's Fire. He was amazing. We also, there's the second one I'm missing for some reason. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing a very good job.
Wasn't it Benny Safdie?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I'm so sorry. We don't even have that many that we've come out with yet. So my other favorite episode is with Benny Safdie. He picked Punch Drunk Love. And that was a really special one because also just because I didn't love Punch Drunk Love when I saw it when in my 20s, but I had to revisit it because he picked it, and I was sort of dreading that a filmmaker was going to pick it. And then he picked it, and I absolutely fell in love with it watching it again. And I talk about how I had a totally different experience watching it then versus now. And that's also one of the really fun things about doing this podcast is like getting to see what movies the directors pick and then like revisiting them, because it's so fun to revisit these movies. And sometimes you fall more in love with them and you're like, oh, or sometimes like Fright Night, I had never seen Fright Night, and which was crazy. It was like a blind spot for me. And I told Eli Roth that he's the reason why I saw it and I loved it. And I don't know how I missed it when I was a kid, because I was like obsessed with horror films when I was a kid. One of the things that's interesting about the podcast is we do an audio and a video version. I push people into the audio because it's the full length of conversation. The video version is only going to be 30 minutes. It's done in 4K, and we're really proud of how it looks, and it's great. But if you want the full conversation, and obviously we'd love for you to watch it and listen to the full one too. But the audio one's always fun because it's the full interview, and the Eli Roth one specifically is a half hour. But if you listen to the audio, it's almost 55 minutes or so. And there's 20 minutes that's not in the video where he goes into like his favorite horror films and stories about working on horror films, and how like this one guy stole like a body from the set and got pulled over by like police officers, and they had a gun to his head. And there's all this fun stuff that's not in the video that's really cool. And then we just had an episode that released January 3rd when 28 Years Bone Temple came out, when tickets came out that you can buy pre-order. Is with Nia DaCosta, who's directing 28 Years Bone Temple.
I listened to it yesterday, and yeah, like she really goes into like her methodology and like her what just her love of 28 Days Later for that particular.
Yeah,
there's a nice relation to it, right? Like that's the thing that's nice about that episode is like you could see like, okay, she loves this movie, and she's also directing a sequel to it.
That was sort of a kismet episode because we genuinely go to directors and we asked them to pick a movie, and we asked her to pick any movie, and we didn't know. We remember thinking it'd be so cool if she picked 28 Days Later. There would be a nice synergy there, but no way did we think she'd actually pick it, and she did, and it was really exciting. And what's been exciting about it is that it's nice to hear she's directing the sequel, but how much she loved the 28 Days Later. And then we love the episodes, the interview so much. This is the first time we're splitting it into two parts. So the part one released January 3rd, part 2 will release in March around the VOD release. She does talk a little bit about how 28 Days Later informed Bone Temple in that. So she talks a little bit about Bone Temple, but our episodes aren't about the directors and their new movies. They're mostly about the movie the catalog movie we're celebrating. But she does talk a little bit about Bone Temple in that one. She's extraordinary. And again, all of the filmmakers sort of it's been exciting meeting them because they all kind of clock right away that John and I are film nerds. And so they're film nerds too. So it's just like a big excuse me, I was trying to say that, but like it's just like a celebration. Like we just geek out about movies, and it's so fun. The Benny Safdie one, I think, is the one that was like, at the end of the episode, he said it was like a book club. And and it's like you're just geeking out with friends for an hour talking about why you love a movie, which we all do. And that's what we want the show to feel like. We want it to feel like you're with friends gushing about a movie. Just one of those friends happens to be a visionary film director. So it's been really exciting. We have some amazing episodes coming out this year. I just got the okay to tell you what our next episode is. So I think nobody knows this, but you guys will know
it. Exclusive.
of. Yeah, actually, because I don't think it'll be promoted. You guys will be the first ones to put it out that it's happening. So on first week of February, our next episode is with Amy Heckerling, and she picked Taxi Driver.
Oh,
which is nuts. So cool. This is, I think, I think this episode has the possibilities of going viral because whenever I've talked to some friends and the people at the studio, they know that we're doing this episode and we've done it. We recorded it a few months ago. We were saving it this year because this is the 50th anniversary of Taxi Driver. So we've been saving it for a few months now. Everyone's like, Amy Heckerling picking Taxi Driver, like you just never would put them. And that's what's so fun is like, again, finding out what these directors pick. And what is amazing is she talks about stuff in this episode that I don't think she's ever said anywhere else. And she also talks about how there are nods to Taxi Driver in Clueless, multiple nods. And so there's stuff that she talks about, which is amazing. So I'm so excited for the episode to come out because a lot of people absolutely love Amy Heckerling. She also did Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And Taxi Driver is an extraordinary film. It was so fun talking to her. She was amazing. I think that's going to be one of our best episodes. And I that's what's fun about doing this show. It's continually meeting these filmmakers and having them pick these films that were like, I didn't know that you love this film so much. And then hearing why they love it. And then sometimes sometimes we'll bring up trivia and things that they don't know about, and they bring to us stuff that we don't know about. And so the idea is just a really fun hanging out with friends, gushing about a movie. And so I would seek it out. We have, I think, about 5 episodes out right now. And so it's not hard to catch up. And they're all under an hour and they're really fun. And I hope you guys seek us out. We're on Spotify and Apple and we're on YouTube, but we're also anywhere you get your podcast. We're on every platform, actually, Amazon, everywhere. And I'm really proud of it. And I'm really excited that you guys asked us to come on and do this episode. I'm sorry John wasn't able to make it at the last minute. And then also just want to gush about 28 Years Bone Temple. Yeah. I think this episode's going to drop like a few days before it comes out.
I'm going to try to. I have to edit it. I have a feeling.
Maybe not because Bone Temple comes out Martin Luther King weekend. It comes out this Friday, January 16th. It is, I absolutely love the movie. I talk about how much I love it in the part 1 episode. But it is a lock for my top 10. I actually think it's a decade defining film. That's a huge statement to say. I think it's a masterpiece. I've called it biblical. It is extraordinary. The last time I walked out of a theater shaking with glee because I loved a movie so much, it was There Will Be Blood. Wow. I cannot gush more about this movie. I think Nia DaCosta is a visionary. There is a part in the movie at one point where there's a needle drop that I thought I was gonna leave my body. It is such a good movie. It's so beautiful. Cinematography's great. The music's great. It's propulsive. It's so fun. I have actually bought tickets to see it Friday night and Monday of the holiday weekend. I'm bringing a bunch of friends both times. So I've seen it twice and then it'll be 3 times I've seen it. I cannot wait for you guys to see this movie. It will floor you. It's that good. And I don't gush about movies when I don't love them. I cannot wait for the world to see this movie. It's so good. And I also think it's the best film in the series. And that's saying a lot because I love a lot of the other the first one, and I love the last one.
Awesome. I was going to say, if you want to drop a line to your old buddy Amy, we are doing Clueless this year. So,
yeah, well, definitely check out Bone Temple. And if, after you've listened to this episode, go over to Director's Take, go subscribe to them, go follow them. I really love your podcast. Aww. I hear a lot of movie podcasts and we've been doing this one, but I get the vibe that I bring to this show when listening to your show, where it is just a bunch of movie nerds talking about film. And I love that. That's great. So yeah, definitely check out Director's Take. This has been a beast of an episode.
Yes.
And it's been great. It's been fantastic. Yeah. So to close it out, Becky, where can people find more information about you, more information about Director's Take? I know you mentioned you have a letterbox, you have a couple, your website. Go ahead and plug those personally.
Yeah. You can find me pretty much on, you can find me online on Twitter on Hollywood Minotaur. My letterbox handle is Hollywood Minotaur. That's spelled Hwood Minotaur. So you can find me, and you can always just search Becky D'Anna and it'll come up for Twitter and letterbox. Instagram, I'm the Becky D'Anna with no apostrophe in it. So DANNA. I also have a website, BeckyD'Anna.com, no apostrophe. And my website's the best hub for me because it lists every podcast appearance I've ever done. I've done about 70 from like 14 different film podcasts. And all my top 10 lists from the last 20 years are on there. You can learn a little bit about me. And also, I'm a massive Ingmar Bergman fan and Albert Brooks fan. So there's a lot of podcast appearances I've done over the years where podcasts have asked me to come on and talk about Ingmar Bergman and Albert Brooks. And I'm a big Star Trek nerd and sci-fi nerd. So yeah. So if you want to listen to any of my stuff or read any of my stuff, I would say my website's the best place. And all the Director's Take links are on there as well. And also the Director's Take Sony Pictures podcast has its own website called Director's Take podcast. If you just do a Google search for that, I think the URL is Director Takes podcast. But yeah, and it has links to all of our stuff too. But yeah, reach out. I love talking about movies. I'm really excited that I met you guys. I feel some friend of mine asked me this morning about, what's the show? And I said, it's really cool people with like really great taste. And I was reinforced by that with your list. I love that we aligned so well. So it was exciting.
Yeah, definitely. John, where can they find you at on the internets?
Over at Facebook, Instagram. I'm back, baby, on YouTube. It's been a madhouse month and a half for me. Don't worry, everything's fine. But dear listeners, but I'm finally able to like get back to the grind. So be on the lookout for some stuff coming very, very, very soon.
Awesome. Well, if you have loved this podcast, please do me a favor and share it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your favorite cinephile. Especially if you've listened to this episode, which has been a beast, and I love that it's been a beast because it's got a lot of great takes there. But yeah, share it. Or you can go to our website, cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. You can follow us on your favorite podcast platform of choice. We've got buttons right there. You just click one and boom, you're following the show. And of course, if you're watching us here on YouTube, hey, thank you so much for doing that. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and drop us a comment. What was your favorite movie of 2025? And with that said, we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Becky. We love you.
Thank you. We love you.
Love you too.